When will we apologize to Quebec? Shut the fuck up, dude. Bitch. The post George Floyd Bipartisan Police Reform Committee is finally out. Really exciting stuff there. Can't wait. Bipartisan talks on police reform are officially dead. This project stalled out months ago, but nobody wanted to announce it's over. That changed today. Representative Bass issued statement regarding police reform negotiations. Today, Karen Bass issued the following statement. More than 200 years ago, the House of Representatives passed the most comprehensive piece of police reform legislation ever considered by the U.S. Congress. Since then, communities across the nation have, on the Senate, tried to pass the George Floyd Policing Act. Remember, this is like one more tweet. Read the quote tweeted, guys. The Gilgamesh Dream Tablet is headed back to Iraq. The 3,500-year-old clay artifact, which was looted from Iraq and bought by the Hobby Lobby, was seized by authorities who demanded it must be returned. Look at that. That's crazy. Huge hack reveals details on who's behind the Proud Boys and other far-right websites. Bro, I love that. This is a Covert Action Magazine tweet that links back to fucking Yahoo, and then you click on it and it's actually a Washington Post article. Like, what is happening? Like, what's going on, dude? Capitalism is breeding innovation, brothers. That's what's going on. Anyway, yeah, it's over. Surprising, not surprising, that bipartisan police reform could not be made. Are you surprised? I'm not. And by the way, that was the concession one. Like, that was the, let's do a national ban on chokeholds. And the cops were like, no, shut up. It's not happening. And guess what? It didn't happen. Go figure. You know, we break shit for a little bit, and then everybody cries about people breaking shit, and then we go back to the same fucking bullshit. I'm Shaggle. Thoughts on Haitians in Texas? Dude, I've been round the clock offering coverage to that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit as well. Okay, let's get started. The battle between moderates and progressives with the Biden agenda is actually, I don't want to start with that. I want to start with the Jeffrey Epstein Bill Gates conversation. Bill Gates went on PBS. Foolishly, I would say. Yep, that's right. Billiam Gates went on PBS NewsHour, and Judy Woodruff just fucking tore him a new asshole. Let's start with that one. That's where I want to go with today. The first story of our day. Yeah, old Billy Bob
reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had...
I just want to repeat this question for you guys who did not understand it. Judy Woodruff of PBS's NewsHour is saying, hey, Bill, why did you meet with convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein? Like, why did you know that he was a convicted pedophile and decided to meet with Jeffrey Epstein? Like, what's up? You good? Like, and he's not just like a pedophile. He's a sex trafficker too, on top of that. So what happened there? Can you please explain that to us? And let me tell you something. Spoiler alert. Bill is not going to be able to explain it.
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is...
You know who else he had relationships with? Children that he sex trafficked. That's right. The question is, what the fuck are you doing with a convicted sex offender, knowing full well that he's a convicted sex offender? And Bill's answer is, I don't know. He's got money. He knows people with money.
Interest I have, not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on.
Come on. It was a long time ago. It's like, dude, you're one of the wealthiest people on the planet, dude. You're Bill fucking Gates. You didn't need Jeffrey Epstein and his help for money, okay? You literally have the most money. You have the most money. There's like 8 people that have more money than you. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's not like Jeffrey Epstein is the only way you can get to the other 8 people that have more money than you. You're Bill Gates. It's fucking stupid. And the real reason is, of course, because he's a fucking dumbass. Okay? Well, 1, he's a dumbass. And 2, and this is something that I want everyone to recognize, okay? Going back to point 1. Billionaires are not smarter than the average person, okay? They have more resources than the average person. They have better PR teams than the average person. But he's just a guy, okay? Old Billy Bob here, just a guy. Just a guy with godlike levels of power. He's like a demigod that walks amongst us because, you know, that's the kind of money he has. But he's just a guy. Without his money, he's just taking a shit in his own bathroom, you know, showering daily, wearing fucking, you know, weird crew neck sweaters. He's just a guy, okay? And that's part of the reason why he was dumb enough to meet with Jeffrey Epstein and think that it wouldn't actually go anywhere. And he was dumb enough to go on this PBS NewsHour, like, because he's a guy. He doesn't, you know, just remove that thought out of your mind, the peasant brain attitude that some of you still have. That capitalism is beaten into your fucking brain, that like these guys are well deserving of their wealth because, you know, they're just like extremely hard workers that also worked really smart and yada yada. It's like, no, they're not brilliant. They're not fucking geniuses. They're just dudes. Okay. They got lucky. They worked hard. Sure. They were definitely not held back by their morality. And that's evident in his decision making here as well. When he's meeting up with Jeffrey fucking Epstein.
On that.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, and, you know,
I've had multiple other dinner dates with him. Like, first of all, what did you do when you found out about his background? He went on a fucking meeting with him. That's what he did. Like, you think a guy like Bill Gates doesn't do deep background checks? Like, doesn't have a team of like 100 people doing deep background checks on every single person that he allots his time to? What, are you crazy? Of course, he fucking knew, and he didn't care.
I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so you know, in general, you always have to be careful.
I mean, AOC came on your show, so maybe not. Dog, I'm one of the largest fucking leftist content creators on this planet at the moment. Okay? And I also am not a fucking pedophile, sex offender, sex trafficker who went to jail. Are you really making a comparison of AOC coming on to my fucking broadcast that was broadcasted out to hundreds of thousands of people to Bill Gates meeting up in secret with a fucking pedophile sex offender? Are you insane, dude? The answer is yes, you are insane. Of course, subscribe for fucking 9 months. 9 month subscriber. The curse, dude. The brain rot. It's just seeped into his fucking orifices. It's like oozing out of all of his fucking orifices, like the brain rot.
And you know, I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy, very proud of the work of the foundation. You know, that's what I get up every day and focus on.
Incredible stuff. Anyway, yeah, he's focusing on his philanthropy, dude. My favorite part of that interview is where he goes, well, he's dead. So, you know, take that lesson.
Having those dinners. And there's absolutely nothing new.
Found out about his background.
Well, and, you know, I've said I regretted having those dinners. And there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So,
yeah, that's the lesson, dude. The lesson is like, don't try to fucking use, you know, pedophile sex traffickers against Bill Gates. Oh, Billy boy. Well, he's dead, so, you know. The lesson is what, dude? Like, what What is that answer? Like, what is that answer? What is the lesson there then? Well, he's dead. The lesson is that two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Anyway, you know, if you mess with Bill, you get the kill. Yeah. Interesting stuff there. Obviously, like, Melinda has been popping off using like, a lot of the fucking Bill Gates Epstein stuff came out. A lot of the Bill Gates Epstein stuff came out as a consequence of Bill and Melinda breaking up, by the way, because the Daily Beast did like 11 articles on Bill Gates, like being a fan of Jeffrey Epstein, thinking that Jeffrey Epstein was his ticket to a Nobel Prize, and how Melinda Gates actually told Bill not to meet with Jeffrey Epstein. Apparently, I don't know if that's real or not, but you know, it sure does make Melinda look good. I mean, it feels like, fuck, it feels like Melinda's just winning this divorce, dude. Bill doesn't even have a divorce body. Like, he doesn't have a revenge body yet. What's he doing? Nothing. You trust her? No. The fuck do you mean you trust her? I trust Melinda Gates' take on this to a degree. We know that he met with fucking Jeffrey Epstein numerous times, so I trust that. Do I trust that Melinda Gates was like actually fucking routinely advocating against meeting up with Jeffrey Epstein? Maybe not. Maybe not. I was talking to my girlfriend's stepdad. He was telling me about how the illegal immigrants have single-handedly caused a new rise in COVID cases. He then went on to tell me that ivermectin is good. 2 months ago, he was in the hospital for COVID and only got the vaccine because of the Air Force made him. And maybe he shouldn't have gotten it, you know? Do you wish you could have shame surgically removed like Peter Ducey? Yes. I would be significantly better at everything. Anyway, so, like, the reason why I love this story, though, is because, like, it's good old-fashioned billionaire bashing. But it's also, like I mentioned already, it's just, like, it's a perfect representation. Like, listen, these guys are just dumb, just as dumb as your dad, okay? That's it. They're just as fucking dumb as your dad and your mom and you. They're not super, they're not, like, they don't have any, like, unique... They don't have anything unique going on. They're just rich guys, okay? And some of them are just fucking pure evil and don't give a fuck and will like link up with a sex trafficker of minors because they think that sex trafficker of minors is a ticket for this person to have a more active role within circles that sex trafficker of minors is engaging in. Okay? So... that's it. Stammering immediately, Gates appears to be fiddling with his now non-existent wedding ring as he began to formulate a response. You know, I had dinner with him. I regret doing that. Woodruff, however, pointed out that Gates continued to meet with Epstein for several years after their first encounter in 2013. Just for you to recognize, like, this is way, way after, like, everybody knew Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted sex offender. But it's that kind of psychopathy, that sociopathic approach, and that lack of care. And that confidence, really, that probably allowed him to become as wealthy as he did. So that's what it is. It's not because he's meeting up with pedophiles that he's at the level of wealth that he is. It's because he doesn't give a fuck. You know? What? Defending and excusing and making an excuse for a pedo is a lefty thing to do. Lefty pedo meets lefty pedo. Move on. You think billionaire Jeffrey Epstein and billionaire Bill Gates are lefties, like anti-capitalists? Do words ever have meaning for you? Do you think Jeff Bezos is a lefty too? Bolsonaro's son went on fucking Tucker Carlson's show because of course, why the fuck not? And when he went on Tucker Carlson's show, he called Bill de Blasio a Marxist.
Was your father tempted to cancel the trip to New York because the failed mayor didn't want him there?
Yes, it happened in 2019. And it shows a lot how left-wing people are. They want to control everything. But I know that de Blasio is a Marxist that follows a lot what Antonio Gramsci says.
The first thing you said was de Blasio is a Marxist. That's obvious to you.
Sure, yes, because this thing that when you think that you know what is better for the other people than the other people's opinion, it shows a lot about who you are. I have an advice for the American people. Do not think that Venezuela is something far, far, far away from you. Venezuelans during the 90s, if you tell them that one day Venezuela would turn itself a dictatorship, they would never take it serious. So
Yes.
this is a very strong message that you have to take care about that.
Such a great point. I went to Caracas as a child.
Such a great point. Is it a great point? Dude, why does he have Jair Bolsonaro's son on? Eduardo Bolsonaro. It's just like such a great point. No one has ever made that point before on the Tucker Carlson broadcast. Yes, please tell us more about how, you know, Bill de Blasio is a fucking Marxist, and also on top of that, he's turning New York into Venezuela through his Marxist policies. Like, what the fuck has Bill de Blasio ever done that's like actually good and Marxist? Nothing. Shut the fuck up. You can't even get the fucking trains to run.
It was a nice place. It's not anymore.
He's the only one there that speaks English. That makes sense. I mean, these guys are like straight fascists, by the way. So the guy was almost the Brazilian ambassador in the U.S. Nice. They ought to pull caca out of his dumbass nose too. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what's going on with his sons, but like, Yair is just never gonna die. Okay, I'm gonna let you know. God wants to murder Bolsonaro. At this point, I'm convinced. Okay, I've never seen someone fucking, you know, not die from so many instances. Or maybe it's just like somewhere out there, a higher being just wants to torture him. You know what I mean? Just fucking nonstop torture him, because his homie, he's gotten COVID like 11 times. Oh, also, not only has he gotten COVID like 11 times, but guess what? He's the only fucking G20 leader that is not vaccinated, by the way. So that's pretty cool, and refuses to wear masks. So that's also pretty cool. But his fucking health minister, dude, the third one now, because he replaced all the other ones. Fucking health minister has COVID too. Brazilian health minister who tested positive for COVID was staying at the same hotel as President Biden in New York City. He went on to the UN to watch President Bolsonaro's speech. Here he shakes hands with Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who met with Biden at the White House later. Oh, the fourth, I said third. This is his fourth health minister, boys. It's just incredible stuff. Just doing high-level bioterrorism. You don't need to say it, Yair. We say it like Jair with a regular J. Okay. Jair Bolsonaro. He got stabbed before the presidential election in 2017, I think. Yeah, it's just like, it sucks that he just won't die, dude. Like, he just literally will not fucking die. They were doing memes on the Senate floor. Cut unnecessary spending or Jaw 25. Democrats. Wait, are you fucking kidding me? I thought this... No shot. Is this real? Oh, the funny thing is the Havana Syndrome bill is going to pass. Compensating CIA workers with brain injuries. On motion to suspend the rules of pass. Yeah, Havana Syndrome bill. I love this, dude. We're such a fucking dumbass country. We are such a dumbass country, dude. It's like, when I tell you, I do not give a single fuck. Like, I do not care about fucking some made up fucking disease that CIA members are getting on their fucking covert ops overseas. Like, I can't begin to tell you how stupid this is. But because of how fucking stupid this is, of course it's going to get passed.
The scenario reminds me of this popular meme of a guy playing Uno.
Just fucking, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to do about this. I mean, this is the same energy as like also this, okay? So Congress is like, you know, doing fucking Uno memes. Congress is also compensating CIA workers with brain injuries for Havana disease, Havana syndrome, which is like totally made up. Okay? And Kristen Sinema, who is deeply, deeply unpopular, by the way. Shocking, but doesn't matter because she's popular with the right people. And Joe Manchin are trying to fucking tank this $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation, which already got gutted by the Senate parliamentarian for no fucking reason. It's wonderful. It's fucking wonderful, dude. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful country we live in, dude. I mean, seriously. It might not be made up. What do you mean it might not be made up? You think there are actual radioactive waves? Like there's a fucking gun out there that like that gives people headaches, dude? What are you, stupid? The technology is not even fucking feasible. Yes, there actually is, law, dude. Oh my god, dude. We've had a fucking sea of these kind of like fake shit. Yes, there are literally other cases more than just headaches. This is why manufacturing consent is great, because the New York Times will just like write about this while scientists are like, this is not something that you know, is technologically feasible, but the New York Times wrote about it as though it's real. So now I got fucking dumbass liberals in my chat being like, nah, it's real, dude. You fucking crazy. We do have microwave weapons that burn your fucking skin. No, I know that. But there is no such like radio frequency or radio wave technology that actually ends up giving you like depression and headaches. And also, if such a technology existed, why would it only give you depression and headaches? Are you fucking stupid? Why don't they just murder them? It's just as dumb as the Brown note, dude. It's like, oh my god, the Cubans have a secret weapon. It makes me shit my pants. That's right. I would have never shat my pants outside of this this weapon, of course. Like, that's how they're fighting against us? That's how the fucking Cubans are fighting against us, boys. By making our CIA agents depressed and have headaches, dude. Yeah, that the sounds that haunted U.S. diplomats in Cuba, lovelorn crickets, scientists say. Diplomatic officials may have been targeted with an unknown weapon in Havana, but a recording of one sonic attack actually is the singing of a very loud cricket, a new analysis concludes. They've been going after this fucking like brown note Havana syndrome shit for the longest fucking time. Yeah, see, dating the late 2016 and subsequently in other countries, Austria, Germany, India. Totally, dude. And the side effects are like diarrhea and headaches, dude, and vomiting. Oh. Hassan, no sound can do this stuff. Also, Hassan, the sound coming from crickets can do this stuff. Dude, did you get hit with a fucking Havana CIA gun and your brain started leaking out of your ears? This doesn't mean that the crickets actually did something, you fucking moron. It means that these people are greatly exaggerating their own symptoms and also thinking that like a loud noise that scared the shit out of them is actually, it must be like a sonic weapon. Turns out it's literally just a fucking cricket. You accept propaganda? What? I believe you're underqualified to make this take, brother. Yeah, dude. Instead, we should ask the CIA. Like, everything I've read up on the Havana syndrome is that it's fucking bullshit, okay? Everything. Google and LRAD. Oh my god, a long-range acoustic device? That's fucking crazy. Wow, I had no idea that was a real thing. You know an LRAD is loud as fuck, right? Like, it's like hearing a PA system in your ear. Like, and we use that on our own citizens here in America too, by the way, but originally in Iraq. Imagine telling me about fucking military inventions that we've been using for dispersal of crowds and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, dumbass. We also have we also have a radioactive weapon, or like a microwave fucking weapon thing that burns the like water follicles inside of your skin, so it feels like your fucking skin's on fire. That's another one. Those are American inventions, for the record. That hasn't been used on American civilians yet. Google LRAD Pepega. If anything, most scientists agree this is mass hysteria. It doesn't matter. I know Portland Police Department used the LRAD on BLM protesters, yes. FBI ruled out a special or The Sound and Fury, Inside the Mystery of the Havana Embassy. Oh, the FBI ruled it out, but it doesn't matter. The CIA says it's true. Read the middle paragraph in the wiki. Studies of the affected diplomats in Cuba published in the medical journal JMA found evidence that the diplomats experienced some sort of brain injury, but did not determine the cause of the injuries. While there is no expert consensus on the cause, one co-author of the JAMA study considered microwave weapons a main suspect. The National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine Expert Committee concluded in December 2020 that microwave energy, specifically directed pulsed RF energy, appears to be the most plausible mechanism in explaining these cases among those that the committee considered, but that each possible cause remains speculative. In 2021, investigators were considering new evidence, including blood markers from patients, which had recently been collected and analyzed more systematically. U.S. intelligence services have not reached a consensus or a formal determination of the cause of Havana syndrome, though unnamed sources in intelligence and in two presidential administrations have expressed suspicions to the press that the Russian military intelligence is responsible. Huh. But you know more than those scientists, right? Wait, are you fucking stupid? The scientists themselves are saying, like, yeah, it's probably not, like, you know, we're just throwing fucking darts at a board. How do you get that? How do you get that out of this? Cuban scientists say Havana syndrome theories violate laws of physics. Yeah, well, guess what, dude? Maybe the Cuban scientists are hiding that they have a gun that can violate the law of physics. It's plausible, not ruled out. So what, dude? And there's a history of, like, Americans fucking doing this in covert ops regularly. What's more plausible is that they have some other shit that they're trying to use that's fucking backfiring, most likely. Most likely cause they said, why are you spinning this? Because it's fucking idiotic, and because the American government and the mainstream media have a history of greatly exaggerating the weapons that our enemies actually have, that they're using against our brave CIA agents, when in fact it's like a bunch of fucking CIA dudes that are hungover. Because, like, the alternative here is fucking hilarious. That they have this, like, insane weapon. Cuba and Russians have this insane weapon, this awesome power, and they're using it to fucking make CIA agents poop themselves and feel bad. I love having a leftist chat that is, like, taking in CIA propaganda hook, line, and sinker about a mega weapon that Cuba had without recognizing the history of, like, American media side by side routinely fucking agitating during the Red Scare, like, the awesome powers that the fucking Soviets had. You dumbasses. Yeah. Dude, liberals are so fucking stupid, man. It's hard for you to fucking, it's hard for you to, like, get over shit. I mean, seriously. Scientists and doctors zap theory that microwave weapon injured Cuba diplomats. A series of attacks with microwave weapon is the latest theory of what could have sickened or distressed roughly 24 people associated with the U.S. Embassy in Cuba over the past 2 years. Okay, it's definitely not some insane future tech. You're being extra lol. Like, the fact that there's a silent radio frequency that can, you know, impact you in this way is silly as fuck. You would at least have other things. Like, you would be able to, you would hear it. It would be like a supersonic, or like the greatest example that people are using here is like the LRAD, right? A long range acoustic device. You can hear that from a fucking mile away, which is what they originally thought it was. And it turns out it was just fucking crickets. Okay. Same with the fucking, the heating gun or whatever. They're not supersonic. You don't know shit. Dude, I love that. I fucking love that, dude. I love that, like, I have 14-month subscribers who are like, nah, dude, this is a real weapon. Like, Cuba actually has this. Why? Because New York Times told me so. And Congress, which hasn't fucking passed any measure with this expediency on, like, essential employees getting hazard pay, is now moving with expediency to get CIA people hazard pay for this fucking fake made up bullshit. You guys are so fucking stupid, dude. I'm done with this chat. I'm done with this fucking community. I swear to God. Everything I've done is just a gigantic fucking mistake. If I can't even stress a singular point because New York Times and Washington Post gave you inconclusive information and went along with a completely fucking made up CIA narrative. Jesus fucking Christ. Literally, there's more articles saying this shit is fake than real. But no, dude. Nah, dude, they're doing that. They're fucking doing that, dude. Thank God I have 14 month subscribers in my fucking chat that are literally like, nah, bro, New York Times and the CIA they would never lie to me. New York Times told you that they were crickets. This is how American media operates, my friend. There are always going to be dissenting opinions, but that article is not necessarily the article that people go forward with. So don't be a fucking idiot. This is not the article that people are pointing to. They're pointing to the much more heavily circulated article that came out recently that asked zero fucking scientists and it just asked the CIA. Like, you think the New York Times in its entirety were fucking saying that Iraq has weapons of war or WMDs? No, there were, of course, still dissenting opinions hidden in the fucking back pages. That's how American journalism works. It's just like the CIA and the FBI and every fucking federal employee gives you a charcuterie plate of options whenever they're talking to the president or whenever they're, choosing what the next steps are on a specific operation. They always give you a basic charcuterie plate of like all the options. If you do this, here's how it might backfire. Also, they can, in the end, if that operation fails, like it did in fucking the evacuation of Afghanistan, they can come out and basically say, well, guess what? We actually informed you. Well, yeah, you also informed them that it would be successful. It's how it always works. And it's the same attitude here. You cover both sides of a fucking truth and then widely circulate the CIA narrative. It's about emphasis of certain stories and opinions instead of complete censorship of dissenting voices. Exactly. You have to look to the history of these institutions, and you have to look to the history of these institutions, and you also have to look at like what incentives they have to lie to us. Okay? And if you're just looking at this and going, yeah, it sounds cool that they have like a super cool fucking... Oh, this is a great tweet. I remember this. Yeah. Havana syndrome. I've seen someone else tweet this too. Havana syndrome is touching fentanyl instantly kills you, but for the U.S. State Department. Absolutely. Didn't know this was a conspiracy theory channel. Your reasons for why the government lies, MSM bad, sound waves loud. You sound like a conservative. Yes, dude. Me, the famous conservative who like defended the Joe Biden administration at fucking times when they are worthy, when they do actions worthy of praise. Some of you are fucking morons, okay? I'm sorry, dude. You are literally a fucking baboon. You are a baboon who only understands political analysis through the framework of team sports, okay? So it is virtually impossible for you to ever think about anything that you are seeing or experiencing or fucking learning that has additional historical fucking context. Our institutions do have the capacity to lie to us and have in the past. Why the fuck are you here and not just watching MSNBC then? Why don't they ever come up with new arguments? Isn't that what you do to right-wingers? Not trying to flame, just want your opinion? Oh, God, this guy's just a fucking idiot. Never mind. You literally contradict yourself. There are non-audible sound waves. You just contradict yourself, man. You literally just read that they are not sure but reported brain damage. Holy shit, man. To say you know for sure they didn't is just as ignorant. LMFAO, you have a hard take on scientific knowledge way over your head and then say other people are idiots. Mirror, man. There are inaudible sound frequencies. Yeah, maybe they're blasting it up your fucking ass right now. If you're this... I'm not saying there aren't inaudible sound frequencies or whatever, okay? I'm saying that with the technology that is currently available, okay, with the technology that's currently available, having a fucking microwave or sound wave, an RF frequency like brain injury device in the hands of like the Cuban military is silly. And if they had that, why are they just giving depression attacks, dude? Why are they just literally fucking making diplomats and the CIA just get fucking nosebleeds, depression, and have them poop their pants because of diarrhea? And not only that, but also there's plenty of readily available fucking information that disproves the narrative that the government has decided to go on with, that like our embassy diplomats are under attack. Why isn't it affecting the Cubans either? Dude, you don't understand. It's because like they figured out a way to just tune into the American frequency brainwaves, okay? What's the purpose of the illness? For them to talk about it? another fucking notch in agitating against a foreign adversary like Cuba and Russia. Okay, so we can be like, look, they're fucking, you know, they're hurting the fifis of our CIA members. Okay, probably additional. I mean, look, the CIA does a lot of fucking weird, fucked up shit. It could be that they want like extra hazard pay, and this is a good narrative to go forward with. Scientists are slamming a report saying microwave attacks could have caused Havana syndrome in U.S. diplomats. The report does not make a coherent argument why microwaves should be involved. But scientists who collaborated on the National Academics of Sciences report commissioned by the U.S. State Department say that the finding about possible microwave attacks is far from conclusive. Outside experts on microwaves and the mysterious Havana syndrome, meanwhile, dismissed it as implausible. One scientist dubbed it science fiction. In many ways, what we are saying is the U.S. government needs to take this on in a more deliberate and comprehensive manner, said panel chair David Relman, an infectious disease expert at Stanford. What is needed is an all-of-government effort to not just study what happened, but to anticipate what the future holds. The State Department praised the release, saying in a statement released to BuzzFeed News that the report can add to the data and analyses that may help us come to an eventual conclusion as to what transpired. The statement added, among a number of conclusions, the report notes that the constellation of signs and symptoms is just consistent with the effects of pulse radio frequency energy. We would note that it's consistent with is a term of art in medicine and science that allows plausibility but does not assign a cause. According to my chatters, that is not true. According to my chatters, this is consistency is actually the same as it was definitely caused by RF frequency, despite the fact that we've never seen something that is capable of doing this. Okay, let's keep going. What if Cuba is responsible to the fucking 9-month brain rot? I don't know. Plausible. You're so fucking dumb, idiot. Huh. Okay, roughly 35 diplomats reported the mysterious injury starting in late 2016, marring U.S. diplomatic relations with Cuba for much of the Trump administration. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. There you go. That's one fucking reason. That's one wonderful reason as to why, you know, they would have such a thing. They would say such a thing. Oh, man, it's tarnishing the diplomatic relations that we had with Cuba. Oops. I guess we need to be extra fucking violent towards the Cubans. Can't do diplomacy with them. When we do it, they're just giving us heart attack guns. Sorry, not even heart attack guns. Because at least then you would be killing someone. So that kind of makes sense. It's a poopy diaper gun. Statement added, by the way, from the State Department. Among a number of conclusions, the report notes that the constellation of signs and symptoms is consistent with the effects of pulse radio frequency. We would note that consistent is a term of art. We already mentioned that. In 2017, the State Department first publicized concerns about U.S. Embassy personnel in Havana who had reported hearing loud noises and experiencing symptoms including ear pain, headaches, and head pressure. Early news reports cited sonic weapons as the cause, triggering deafness, inner ear damage, and a concussion-like syndrome of brain damage, all dismissed by the new NAS report, which Rex Tillerson, then the head of State Department, called health attacks on diplomats and their families. I love having a fucking leftist chat that is unironically, like, you know, siding with Rex Tillerson and the State Department with respect to anti-Cuban propaganda. How is this different than believing 5G makes you sick? It's different because like, you know, our wonderful liberals in this community that have been subscribed to me for fucking 9 months read a New York Times article that said that it doesn't matter, actually. They didn't actually see this other side of it. They just saw an article that was heavily biased towards leading you to say, like, oh, no, this is a feasible thing. This is a real thing. And it totally happened. So now they have to fucking advocate like it definitely is a real thing without ever considering what the counters might be or what the reason might be. Even accepting their theory is true, the ridiculous part of all this is that hazard pay got approved for state CIA employees for being injured on the job in a job where injury is foreseeable, while COVID frontline personnel who should have actually been getting hazard pay can't get it approved by Congress. I already mentioned that, but yes, thank you for concisely bringing that forward one more time. Yeah. I'm siding with them in respect to the MRI showing consistent brain damage in both American and Canadian diplomats rather than just letting my hatred of the CIA lead me to a biased conclusion. Okay, dude. Maybe they fucking drank or ate bad food, you know? There's like a million different reasons why they might have fucking brain damage. Pesticides. It could literally be their own fucking, whatever kind of fucking dumbass pill that they're taking because they want to counter against the brainwave frequency shit that they perceive is happening. Mean whole brain white matter volume was significantly smaller in patients with compared controls. Similar injuries in Canadian tourists and in China. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. This is so fucking psychotic. So let me get this straight. So they got a fucking fake ray gun. Okay, sorry, a very real ray gun that is being used against Canadians and Americans in Cuba and the CIA tourists as well, but also CIA diplomats. And it's being used in areas where like we think it's China, Russia, and Cuba doing it. That's what's going on. They just have this technology. That's what's happening. They're just, yeah, dude. Hey guys, if you're worried, do you work at the CIA? Are you worried about the RF frequency that may be pumped into your brain as you're doing wonderful, incredible work for the American government? Like, I don't know, giving money to Cuban political dissidents so they can do rap that is anti-government in nature. Are you a part of the CIA's Cuba efforts to destabilize Cuba by creating a fake Twitter that will inevitably fall apart? Are you trying to smuggle weapons under the guise of humanitarian aid through, bread cartons? Well, guess what? I have something for you. It's called Shungite. No, not Suge Knight. That guy's locked up in prison. I'm talking Shungite. Those little pyramids that you put all around the La Casa. That it will block out all the 5G coronavirus radiation waves, okay? And it will protect you from the Cuban RF radio frequency that makes you poop your pants and make you feel kind of depressed. So if you are a CIA operative, please immediately get some Shungite. This is your first and hopefully your last line of defense against those wonderful, dangerous 5G coronavirus RF frequencies that is making you depressed and poop your pants. As a CIA agent, I think it's really disrespectful of you to minimize how dangerous the Cuban poop rays are. My point earlier was that you called them radioactive waves, which is not a thing, and then you said they were supersonic, which is the definition of speed. Maybe don't pretend to be a science expert. I am not a science expert, which is why I always go back to the actual science experts that destroy the fucking credible narrative building that other dumbasses engage in this chat as well. When you are literally fucking looking at a inconclusive report that you don't even fully fucking understand, and you're totally taking on without even considering what kind of additional incentives that the State Department might have, what kind of additional incentives that the media historically has. Like, you're basically saying, I'm the science. I get to pretend as to be a science expert. You can't. Okay? Well, I'm not. I'm a fucking idiot. But it would make sense to simply make life harder for U.S. diplomats instead of killing them. Dying diplomats are a big problem and can cause an international crisis. But diplomats who shit their pants won't cause a crisis. Dude, it's great. Other theories circulated suggesting that mysterious illnesses were caused by cricket noises triggering mass hysteria, or Russian spies somehow zapping diplomats. In 2019, the State Department asked the NAS to review the illnesses with the limited information available, and with an emphasis on advising how to collect medical information for any future cluster of cases. The panel met 3 times in the last year, hearing from medical teams who had treated or examined some affected patients. It also reviewed reports by the CDC and the National Institutes of Health, and heard testimony from 8 patients in closed sessions. But the panel was hamstrung by a lack of information about the people involved, the report said. Because of security and medical privacy laws, the medical testing data provided was not thorough enough since it was collected to help treat the patients rather than investigate an outbreak of injuries. Meanwhile, there's people in my chat who are saying, I know that the scientists that actually looked at the panel of scientists that looked into the medical phenomena said that there was inconclusive evidence to even look at what the cluster of injuries looked like and whether it was consistent with anything. But I, the chatter, who read one New York Times article, actually do know that, they had MRIs and their fucking brain, their brain white matter was consistent with a brain disease gun that they got hit with. We didn't have information about individual people, including who was first affected, who was later affected, what their connections were, said panel member Jeffrey Staub, a professor of psychiatry at the Mayo Clinic. Given those limits, the panel focused on the acute immediate symptoms reported to the diplomats in Havana: loud sounds, pressure, vibration, ear pain, and headaches, as most distinctive and informative about the possible explanations. The panel also excluded recent reports of similar injuries in Canadian tourists and U.S. diplomats in China. There are real holes in the information, Staub said. Even if we had all the security clearances to see everything about everyone, there would be holes in the information. There's also holes in the brains of a lot of chatters. Isn't it weird that the U.S. would even admit that this is a problem that they are having? If this is a legit attack on these diplomats, I feel like they would not be publicly admitting that they're being attacked by something they have no way of countering. I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's just a good way to agitate people that do care. If you have like an entire fucking, if you have a literal chat full of fucking supposed like young lefties who are still advocating for this, then, you know, that's great. They don't even have enough evidence for a fucking theory or like a solid hypothesis. And yet, you know, you still have people even in this community of all fucking communities defending this to death. Like their dad got hit with the fucking poop gun, and that's why your fucking mom and dad are no longer together. It must have been the Havana syndrome that made your dad cheat on your mom, chatter. That's what it was, certainly. Those same limits constrain what the scientists could say were plausible explanations for the injuries, panel members told BuzzFeed News. A theory that the mysterious illness was caused by an infectious disease such as the Zika virus was deemed highly unlikely, and a more recent explanation that the outbreak was caused by pesticide poisoning was determined to be not likely, though the scientists pointed out that no blood samples remained from the patients to thoroughly rule it out. Do you ever get Taco Bell and feel like an American diplomat? All the time, brother. Like, for example, the other day I mixed 2 different kinds of pre-workout because I'm a fucking idiot. This was like a couple weeks ago. And then I went out and I almost shit myself at this really fancy fucking restaurant that my friend invited me to go to. And I thought to myself, I usually defecate like once a day, you know, in the morning. I have a pretty consistent poop schedule. Something is going on in my body. And only then, after ruling out the alternative causes of like food poisoning and whatnot, I recognized that it was because I had fucking mixed 2 different kinds of pre-workout like a goddamn idiot. It was literally, I was running to the bathroom over and over again. I just kept pooping. Okay. I could not stop. Or maybe it was the Havana syndrome. You know, who's to say? Probably not the fucking RF frequency. That left the final theory that the illnesses were caused by a direct radio frequency attack based on a real phenomenon called the Frey effect, where beams of pulse microwaves aimed at a person's ears could produce clicking noises that only the person targeted can hear. The panel suggested a Frey-like effect was the most plausible explanation considered. It's a little dramatic, but first of all, something important and real happened to these people, Relman said. We looked at the possible mechanisms and found that one was more plausible than the others and entirely consistent with some of the most distinct clinical findings. Yeah. The report concluded that a microwave attack could cause a compensatory balance and dizziness syndrome afterwards, accompanied by depression triggered by their injuries. Chronic injuries often have a psychological aspects that shouldn't be discounted as real symptoms, Staub said. Some of the report's most important findings were its recommendations to the State Department on how to investigate any future clusters, though, thoroughly. However, experts in both microwaves and group psychology were highly critical of the report's conclusions. The report does not make a coherent argument why microwaves should be involved, said University of Pennsylvania bioengineer Kenneth Foster. More like Commie Foster. That's right. That bioengineer is probably a communist because he's going against the CIA narrative. That's right. Who first described the mechanism behind the Frey effect in 1974. Oh, so the guy who literally fucking described the mechanism behind the Frey effect is saying this is not consistent. The effect requires very high power levels to produce barely audible sounds, he said, and it's not known to cause injuries. Maybe someone went to the trouble to truck in a large microwave transmitter to cause employees to hear clicks, but there are simpler ways to harass people. There are simpler ways to harass people than that. That's right, dude. This is not science, but science fiction, said UCLA neurologist Robert Balow, co-author of Havana Syndrome, Mass Psychogenic Illness, and the Real Story Behind the Embassy Mystery and Hysteria. Chat turned into Nicki Minaj so quick. Warger is correct. Chat literally turned into Nicki Minaj. My CIA cousin in Cuba doesn't want to get Havana Syndrome because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding, so just pray on it. Make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. Yeah. What's up, chat? Try listening to actual testimonies before jumping on the conclusions. When mom find the poop sucked. It's just pretty funny. It's pretty funny that, like, you know, the fucking incredible technological achievement that they have is like making CIA agents feel bad, like making them sad and making them fucking poop their pants. Like, didn't the Thunderhawk or whatever was playing was trigger people to vomit and such when they heard the sound of the plane? Yes. Do you know how fucking loud that is? Like, if they had the Thunder plane, it was so loud people could hear it from a mile away. What, you think the entirety of Cuba is like hiding the secret that they're like constantly beaming fucking some of the diplomats, but then also the other American diplomats that aren't affected by it are somehow not hearing it? Like, how? And that's a loud noise. That Operation Thunder Screech is a loud noise that can be heard. Low frequency sounds are not consistent with, like, you know, low frequency sounds like this. Like, there's no technological achievement, at least according to Kenneth Foster, that can produce those kinds of results in people's brains. Anyway, so hopefully you take this as a learning opportunity to not just, like, whenever you see the State Department say some shit, you know, to not immediately fall into that propaganda hook, line, and sinker, and use this as a learning opportunity to be like, I'm going to question the official narrative a little bit more here. Neuroscientist Michelle Jose Valdez Sosa of the Cuban Neuroscience Center said that the report was a step in the right direction since it invalidated the wilder theories of sonic weapons and brain damage. The findings resemble a 2018 Cuban Academy of Sciences report co-authored by Sosa, which suggested the early injuries among a few people likely spread by mass psychology to more people throughout the wider diplomatic community. We don't agree with the radio frequency pulse findings, of course, but this is the first time we have U.S. experts acknowledging psychogenic effects could be important. You know, the Cuban hotels and neighborhoods where the microwave attacks supposedly took place are in crowded open spaces, making it unlikely such a small group would be affected or that the attacks would go unnoticed. Like, how did they target just the American diplomats? Like, does the American mind have, like, are we going to do phrenology to justify it? The American mind actually has a specific frequency that you can tune into, and it doesn't hurt the Cuban mind at all. They were able to find the American frequency. Of course, the Cuban scientists would say that, but I said that too, even before the fucking Cuban scientists. How do they only target some diplomats and not, like, other people that are in the building? Because, like, the people that were originally saying LRAD, a long-range acoustic device is incredibly audible, and everyone in the fucking vicinity hears it. Like, everyone, not just one diplomat. And even then, it's like not just like a clicking noise that you hear inside of your ear. I think the funnier thing is one of these fucking dumbass diplomats sharded themselves and then took it to this level. Like, they sharded themselves and then were just like, oh, nah, dude, it's like it's probably some mystical Cuban ray, dude. What the fuck? You know, that's the reason why I fucking shit myself. You know this, dude. We're trying to bring democracy to Cuba, and they made me shit myself. Fuck. And then, you know, a bunch of other people that also probably, like, are not used to drinking tap water in Cuba or eating Cuban food. Like, you know what I mean? It's like spicy. They also started shitting themselves, and they're like, fuck, dude, Hank was right. It must be the fucking diplomacy ray. Holy shit, dude. I fucking thought that was a fart. It's a shart, actually. Havana Gamble is what it should be called. Yeah. Wake up, liberal. You're being beamed by Cuba right now. You just don't know it. Yeah. Low frequency stuff does get used incorrectly. I'll own this one. Anxiety over the wind turbine syndrome stems from a decades-old misunderstanding of inaudible noise. Yeah. Dude, anti-climate change propagandists. Handshake emoji with fucking Havana syndrome understanders, dude. But also somehow they find themselves in my fucking chat yelling at me. Okay. Oh wait, I want to see what that fucking idiot had to say after all this. The scientist quotes changed the sane people's minds. I was wrong. No, we're saying there is brain damage to dismiss it like nothing is crazy. Wait, first of all, it's not crazy. Seeing the scientist quote changed my mind. I was wrong. Okay. So just reconsider how fucking aggressive you were over here in the beginning, though. to like jump to that fucking conclusion that the State Department is correct. I'm glad that you are mature enough to recognize it, though. So they didn't even give full medical history. How can you draw any conclusions? You can't, dude. I know active denial systems. I've talked about this. It's literally fucking microwave. It's beaming microwave rays at you, and it makes the fucking water particles under your skin literally light up. Okay, so it feels like your skin is on fire. The American military claims, and this is an old ass fucking thing too, I've talked about this before. The American military claims that this does not give you cancer. I do not believe that. I'm gonna tell you right now, 0% chance that this weapon does not fuck you up, dude. We've watched this before on stream. It boils the water in your body, dude.
Was a threat or not responsive to soldiers or Marines telling them to get back, the active denial system is sort of an extra step before they would actually use lethal force. Dr. Worry, can you tell us a bit about why this, for instance, won't microwave me?
The frequency that is built into these transmitters is 95 gigahertz. That's a factor of 100 higher than the microwave level frequencies that penetrate. The 95 gigahertz gives us propagation downrange with very limited penetration.
So how deep will this actually get under my skin?
1/64th of an inch.
Let's go get shot.
So for the record, this is a weapon that the American military had back in 2012, and they were using it for crowd dispersal, as Spencer Ackerman points out right here. So just remember that. And same with the LRAD too, the long-range acoustic device that you now see in Portland streets, for example, used against Black Lives Matter protesters on the regular. And cops will claim that it's just simply a PA system. It's not. These dispersal techniques were created by the American military, tested on the American military members, which now are probably crying about fucking getting vaccinated. Hilarious. Totally separate point there. They're originally used in combat zones and then sold to American manufacturers, or sorry, to American police departments, so that it can be used against American citizens. This is a very commonplace practice. This is part of one of the many different reasons why we're a dog shit country and evil down to the fucking very core.
Shot.
There'll be a gray pickup truck, which is our safety vehicle. If you need to be backed off the range.
Okay. It's hot. Now, if I didn't know where the active denial system was and that it was going to fire, I would just think this blast of heat was coming from out of nowhere. There's no flash, no smell, no sound, no round. And having just been blasted...
And it literally lights your fucking skin on fire. It feels like your skin is on fire, chat.
With this thing, I can tell you it feels not unlike immediately walking into an open oven door. It's a little bit chilly out here right now, and on my chest area up to my neck, I got a big blast of heat, and it forces you to kind of immediately and instinctually jump back, you know, put your arms up. You're going to want to stop doing what you're doing.
Apparently, it's outside the problematic ranges for ionization, so potentially no cancer, but still even humane as fuck. I don't believe it. I don't believe that this shit does not sterilize you, okay? Like, the American military can tell me all day, every day that, like, oh, dude, totally, it's totally safe. I don't believe it. There is 0% chance, dude. Okay? 0% chance. There you go. Now that I've fucking described to you why you should not believe in government propaganda, I once again am going against scientists, okay? I'm once again going against scientists and telling you I do not believe it. You can never tell me that a weapon that boils your fucking water particles inside of your skin from far as fuck away is not going to fuck you up in some way. I'm not saying it sterilizes you for sure. I'm not saying it gives you cancer for sure. But you are fucking insane if you think that does not have like some kind of fucking, especially if you use it consistently, some kind of fucking consistent long-term damage. No shot. No fucking shot. Bro, this is like evil villain shit, okay? We're using this against people. We're using this against people that we have no consideration for. Why in the ever-loving fuck would we give a shit if it actually murders them like 20 years down the line or cause them to be infertile? You know what I mean? Why? We don't care. It's literally a weapon that boils you from inside of your skin. It doesn't have to be cancer, for the record. I'm just saying that the American military claims that this is an effective and safe weapon to use, and I just do not believe that. I'm sorry. No, they tested it on our own soldiers, so it's, yeah, exactly. They tested it on the soldiers, dude. That does not mean that it's safe at all. I'm a physics PhD, and I will tell you that it cannot hurt you on the inside, but this can burn your skin really bad. The way it works is that it totally absorbs on your skin and nowhere else, but this can literally set you on fire. What? It can set your skin on fire? No shot. Wait, the technology hasn't even been around long enough for consistent testing over decades to even know if it's safe or not. They're making shit up. Hasanabi anti-science stream. Chat took a fat L earlier, so they're going to be really desperate to catch a W here, okay? So the same chat that was like freaking out earlier about how Havana syndrome is like definitely real is 1000% going to be contrarian all day long, just so they can like catch me on the back foot one time, so they can fucking, you know, spray themselves with champagne on the fucking victory podium. No shot. Get the passport without the poison. Step 1, book the vaccine. Don't worry, we'll deal with it in step 3. Step 2, order a venom extraction kit online. Don't pay over $35. Step 3, extract the vaccine. You have under 5 minutes to do so, so just leave. The nurses can't stop you from doing so. The peer-reviewed articles below show that this method is effective and safe. Step 4, pass on this life-saving info. We will get through this hoax with our health and freedom. Wait, this is awesome. This is to like literally get people to dupe them into thinking that they got the vaccine, right? No. I mean, this doesn't work. This seems like a fucking reverse op for people to like be duped into taking the vaccine. So that's 100% a troll, like to get people to take the vaccine. Oh, it's awesome.
Has President Biden ever been to the southern border?
In his life?
Yes.
I will have to look back in my history books and check the times he's been to the southern border.
We have been looking all morning, and we cannot find any record of him visiting the border as president, vice president, senator, or even as a concerned citizen. Why would that be?
I can check and see when the last time.
Dude, who the fuck is a concerned citizen visiting the border, dude? Like, that's so stupid. Hey, brother, I'm a concerned citizen. I'm visiting the border. Like, what the fuck? Motherfucker, people that live at the border don't visit the border as a concerned citizen. Like, what kind of dumb shit is this? What the fuck?
When he may.
He's like, why won't Joe Biden also do the like aesthetic stuff that we give a fuck about while literally murdering, just fucking shoving Haitian migrants in a fucking plane and just shipping them back off to Haiti that is like barely has a functioning fucking airport at this moment. You know, why won't he do the aesthetic stuff on top of that? Like, what more do you want? Do you want him to kill the people by hand? Like, is that what you want? They want him to do the photo op so they can be like, it's just a photo op. It's like, bitch, he's doing everything you want him to do anyway, you fucking asshole.
Have been. But tell me more about why you're asking.
Because this is a president who makes a point when there are disasters in this country, like a wildfire or a hurricane, to go and see for himself firsthand what the needs are of the local community so that he can have an informed POV to make policy. Why doesn't he do that? Why doesn't he go down to Del Rio, Texas and see what's going on?
Well, first of all, Peter, I think the situation at the border is the result of a broken system. And the president certainly relies on his experience. So whether it was the work he did to address root causes as vice president, his efforts when he was in the Senate to support comprehensive immigration reform, steps that at a time were being done and worked toward in a bipartisan way, something that certainly we think should be the case today. He uses all of his experiences to inform how he governs, how he approaches challenges. And certainly he looks again at the last 4 years and the separation.
Yo, Peter Douchey doesn't realize that, like, you know, if he does go down there, he might recognize the humanity of the people that he's subjecting to like endless amounts of cruelty right now. You know, probably not, because, you know, Joe Biden has no brain, but think about that.
of children who were ripped from the arms of their parents as a way he does not want to proceed. So all of his experiences and his time in office, whether vice president or Senate, inform his approach to issues. Go ahead.
The Brazilian.
Dennis Prager downplays the effects of climate change. Did you know that there's a solution to warm climate? It's called air conditioning. It's very effective. Fucking owned, dude. Absolutely owned.
Even college has not fully knocked this out of people. Most people do assume that it is innate to women to want to have a child, to want to have children. So when a woman says, I don't want children because of a certain issue, I don't know if people judge her harshly. I do. I think she's an idiot. But it's not most people are judging her harshly. It's that most people are just confused. Why do I think she's an idiot? Because I don't believe for a nanosecond that the world is on the verge of extinction due to global warming. It is one of the many, many lies that people who with college degrees believe. That's all it is, my friends. I don't deny the world is getting warmer. Did you know, for example, that far more people to this day die of freezing than of a warm climate? Did you know that there is a solution to warm climate? It's called air conditioning. It's very effective.
Fucking owned, dude. Hey, yeah, people had no idea, by the way. Checkmate. So what do you do? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Mr. Prager, I'm calling in from New Orleans, Louisiana right now. We have a blackout. We're experiencing just a massive heat wave. We have a blackout caused by a gigantic hurricane. What can I do when the gigantic hurricane, destroyed our energy, destroyed our energy company, and now we just have a blackout? I can't use the AC no more. Can you explain to me what's going on there, Mr. Prager? What happens then, dude? Hey, I know that, climate change has increased the time frame that is considered wildfire season because it's now drier heat in the Pacific Northwest for a longer period of time, which creates a perfect opportunity for fucking wildfires. But have you thought about turning the AC on to fight back against the wildfire? I'm just saying, dude. Like, just why don't we just turn on our ACs and blow it towards the wildfire? Yeah, ACs, of course, no longer and never have contributed to climate change. So there's that too. Like electricity, utilization of electricity of that sort. Senator Ted Cruz, what voter ID laws are racist?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to start with a question for each of the 5 witnesses. In your judgment, are voter ID laws racist? Professor Tolson.
Thank you for that question. So it depends. One thing we have to stop doing is treating all voter ID laws as the same.
Okay, so your answer, I want to move quickly, so it depends is your answer?
Yes, that's my answer.
Okay, so what voter ID laws are racist?
Apologies, Mr. Cruz, your state of Texas, perhaps?
Okay, so you think the entire state of Texas is racist. What about requiring an ID to vote is racist?
So I think, sir, that's pretty reductive. I'm not saying the entire state of Texas is racist.
You just said my state of Texas, so you tell me, what about the Texas voter ID laws is racist?
So the fact that the voter ID law was put into place to diminish the political power of Latinos with racist intent and had been found to have
You're
racist
asserting
intent,
that. What's your evidence for that?
The federal district court that first resolved the constitutionality of Texas's voter ID law.
Okay, so your view is...
So your view is that you believe in some pussy-ass federal judge. Let me tell you something. I'm from Texas, and I don't believe in judges. So get fucked.
Voter ID laws are racist. How about you, Mr.
Like, even... You want to know how fucking racist voter ID laws are in the state of Texas specifically? The constitutional defense for it from the legal scholars completely avoids it. They're like, yeah, we know it's racist, but like, is it intentionally racist or not? So like, that's how fucking racist they are. Like, they're like, yeah, the impact of it might be racist, sure, but do we do it on purpose? Can't prove it. No, boo-boo. Can't prove it. Like, they're literally, like, we're past the point of whether they're racist or not. Like, the impact is, Now it's a matter of like whether if the impact is racist, does it matter, or does there have to be racist intent for it to be racist law that is unconstitutional? And also, even then, the intentionality is like hard to prove if it is intentional or not. Which is why like the instances where like voter ID laws get fucking yeeted by state Supreme Courts, oftentimes are as a consequence of like personal negligence from the dude who is like designing them, because he ends up like writing in an email like, yeah, I'm doing this because I don't want blacks to vote. I am doing these voter ID laws so we stop black people from voting. And then they like send the email and then they fucking die. And then their daughter finds the hard drive years later. You know what I mean? It's literally like, that's the only way that they get fucking clapped up. That's a real story, by the way. I'm not even kidding. That's a real fucking story. Ridiculous to need to prove intent in a law. It discriminates. You fucking answer. I can't tell if you're, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know what happened. The only judge I recognize is Mike Judge, King of the Hill, best anime ever. I tell you what.
Mr. Yang.
I agree with Professor Tulsa. Voter ID laws can be racist.
Okay, that's
other
two.
context.
Mr. Sides.
There are some voter ID laws that are racially discriminatory in intent.
How about
See, he's doing it. Oh, that's in the video. They're doing it already. That is the defense. It's not that like voter ID laws are racist. We've gone beyond it. Like everyone agrees they are. Okay? But like, did we intend it to be racist? Ooh, oh well, like, oopsie, what an accident that it's racist. Like the outcomes are disproportionately targeting black and brown and poor communities. I don't know. It's just like, what about the intent? Can you prove the intent? And then you can always relegate to the, well, did he really say he's a Nazi defense? Remember, like old heads know. Wow, so you think Latinos can't get IDs? I never understand this argument. Only undocumented can't get it. Why should non-citizens be able to vote? First of all, non-citizens can't vote. There are no documented instances of like anything beyond marginal fucking irregularities that are not even significant enough to change the outcome of any sort of election where like a fucking undocumented person has been able to vote. You are lying. That has never happened. It's not a real thing. Shut the fuck up. That's number one. Two, it's not saying that like, oh, what about Latinos that can't get IDs? Like, no, that's not the problem. The problem is it makes it as hard as fucking possible. And it's not just like, oh, you need identification to be able to go out and vote. I love that like everyone hyper focuses on this singular aspect that like, oh, well, why can't people just like get a fucking ID? That's not the end all be all of voter ID laws, you dumb fuck. Signature matching, for example, seems like on its face a totally innocuous, normal thing to have. Why shouldn't we do signature matching? Well, it's because Republican state legislatures and Republican secretaries of state that are supposedly in charge of the sanctity of these fucking elections will then go and yeet out like thousands of fucking black ballots because, oh, their signatures aren't not matched because it's not a fucking real science. It's totally subjective. Okay? That's why. Let's not act like, you know, these actual improvements that are designed to protect the integrity of our elections are truly there to protect the integrity of our elections, especially because there is no fucking attack on the integrity of our elections. The only attack on the integrity of our elections do not come from people individually going out and voting illegally, but actually from the systemic changes that these dumbass Republicans are advocating for in the form of voter ID and voter suppression. That is a necessity because apparently there's a big boogeyman out there where Democrats keep winning these elections. That's it. That's it. So I'm sick and tired of having these fucking dumbass arguments about like, oh, well, black people can't get an ID. It's like, first of all, it is rather difficult if you have never fucking gotten an ID, if you don't drive a car. It is rather difficult if you're poor and you're constantly fucking working to go out and get an identification, get a piece of ID. But that's not where it ends. People that have IDs still get purged from the fucking voter ballots. Okay? They still get purged from the voter ballots and not from the voter rolls. And then also on top of that, you have to pay for a fucking ID. Also on top of that, even if you get the ID, sometimes, or at least, and there is information for this, in more instances, black and brown people, okay, or specifically poor people, end up getting their fucking IDs from the DMV where they write on a piece of paper. Okay? They write their name out on a piece of paper versus white people and wealthier people, more often than not, end up using the internet to be able to put their documentation in. That kind of marginal difference leads to like a gigantic percentage of people having false information on their identification, and false information in the form of like having one letter mismatch, or false information in the form of having like a fucking dash in the wrong side. All of these marginal things are looked at by these demon Republicans. Brian Kemp specifically in the state of Georgia did this against Stacey Abrams. Like literally, as he was the Secretary of State, purged thousands of people from fucking voter rolls by finding out that black people were more likely to have gotten a fucking ID by going to the going to the DMV, okay, and writing out their names, which led to more marginal differences in the way that their names came out in the system. Yeah, and when the DMV spells your name wrong, it's fucking difficult as process. And not only that, but voter suppression is not just that. They literally shut down DMVs in black and brown neighborhoods before they implement these kinds of policies, on purpose, by the way, after figuring out what percentage of people, what percentage of Democratic voters versus Republican voters are actually, without a fucking ID. It functionally is a poll tax when you have to pay $80 to get a license. So now you have to pay to fucking get a license so you can go and literally vote. Before the decision on Arizona election laws this summer, the Voting Rights Act protected voting rights by looking at disparate racial impact. The Supreme Court, the Alito opinion, ruled this summer that now people challenging the law have to show that the intent was racist. Yeah. So it's no longer that you're just simply stating that like this has racially disparate outcomes. It does not matter if the intention is fucking racist or not. Ultimately, the outcomes are racist, and it is like making it harder for black people to vote. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. You have to prove intent, that they're like intentionally passing this for racist for racist reasons. Are you saying that the DMV spells people's names wrong, or people don't know how to spell their own names? Okay, I'm sick and tired of having idiotic fucking Americans, not comprehend anything outside of like individuals. Okay, when I tell you something as all encompassing as a systemic problem, please stop reducing it to like, well, are there individual bad actors in the DMV that are writing the names incorrectly on purpose? Or are there individuals that are too stupid to write their names correctly? No, this is evidence that bears itself out in data. Something as marginal a difference as like writing your fucking name out on a piece of paper versus plugging it in on a computer ends up with gigantic differences in different in different groups of people, in different socioeconomic conditions. They found that poor people go to the DMV and write it on a piece of paper. And when you write it on a piece of paper, whether it's on the process of you writing it or whether it's in the process of them plugging that information into the computer, somewhere along the line, there are problems, okay? It's that simple. And something as simple as that leads to percentage differences that allow, when you add in an additional clause to like purge people off the fucking voter rolls because their name is not a one-to-one match, that human error that happens to black people more frequently in places like, Georgia, leads to thousands of people getting kicked off the voter rolls despite the fact that they want to fucking vote. Okay? And not only that, but also, like, it literally goes back to, not just like people writing on a fucking piece of paper, but even like, what do you call it? Even like names that have unconventional spellings, like black people or Latino people. Like they don't have the same kind of like conventional spelling that most white people are used to. Okay? And it impacts white people too, of course. But these fucking people literally go in. Yeah, like Hassan versus Hassan, exactly. And Republicans look at this. They look at this data and they go through it and they fucking figure out what these discrepancies are so they can weaponize it against black people. My last name has a hyphen in it and they always fuck it up. Yep, exactly. And it's the same process with like fucking voter suppression in the form of signature matching. So they always do this from Kagan's dissent, addressing this argument. And what is mere inconvenience or usual burden anyway? The drafters of the Voting Rights Act understood that social and historical conditions influencing or including disparities in education, wealth, and employment often affect opportunities to vote, Kagan wrote. What does not prevent one citizen from casting a vote might prevent another. You can use my name. It's Amante. Once it gets misspelled all the time. I was almost not able to vote because my name was incorrect the first time I was ever legally able to vote. Anyway, so those exact match laws are weaponized against black people, brown people, and poor people in general because they just don't want them to fucking vote. Like, because they end up voting for the Democrats. And there are still idiots in here that are like, what are you saying? Black people can't get a fucking license, dude? Ah, fucking owned, dude. Like, sick, dude. You really fucking owned me, okay? You really did. Like, the Texas Republican legislature recently passed a fucking provision that allows them to override the Democratic election results if they choose to do so. And you're over here being like, dude, come on, dude. Voter ID laws, how are they fucking racist? It's too late. Like, it's already too late.
Voter ID laws can be racist.
Okay, that's two. Mr. Sides?
There are some voter ID laws that are racially discriminatory in intent.
How about in practice? In intent, fine, you say there's some racist with a malevolent intent lurking in the back of their mind. But let's just talk about as a...
Like, explain to me why you can't have 24-hour drop-off ballot boxes and universal mail-in ballots in the United States of America. Explain to me why Election Day is not a fucking national holiday, a federal holiday. You can't. Those are literally direct reasons to stop people that are working class from fucking voting. Okay? That's it. That is the only reason why we don't have a fucking federal holiday for voting, and also that we can't have universal mail-in ballots and 24-hour drop-off boxes. Things that Texans had for the first time ever that immediately got fucking purged because the Texas Republican legislature recognized the dangers that it presented, that more people could possibly fucking vote. And that's terrifying. That's literally terrifying. Donald Trump personally admitted in yet another instance of honesty that, like, if we're able to allow universal mail-in ballots, Republicans will never win again. He said that. He literally said that.
Practical matter. When I go to vote, they ask me for my ID. I pull out my ID, I show it to them, I vote. Is that racist?
If the law that requires you to do that was motivated by racially discriminatory intent
what about the
under
effect?
our
Set
Constitution.
aside intent. Set aside intent. I'm asking about the effect.
Yes, in effect, I think that there are discriminatory effects from a number of voter ID laws.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Reardon.
I'm going to...
It's so stupid. He's like, I'm going to refuse to see the point that you're trying to make here, okay? I don't want to see the point you're making here. Tell me, is that racist? How is that racist? How can it be racist in intent but not in practice? Yeah, that's the funny part. It's like I love that he reworked that argument in the wrong side. Normally, you're supposed to make the argument that, like, in practice it's racist, but in its intent it's not, okay? And he actually fucking worked it. He worked it the wrong way, where he's like, oh, so the intent is racist. Well, what about in practice? It's like, well, if an action is intentionally racist, then yeah, the practice of it will be racist as well, you fucking idiot. Elections on weekends during the whole day and mail-in are commonplace things in literally every democratic country. I know. Well, we are not a democratic country. We're a republic, okay? Shut the fuck up. We're not a democracy. It's like, just shut up. Like, you know what that fucking means. Small d democracy is literally what we have, okay? Or what we're supposed to have. Jim Prosciutto.
Economic issues pending on Capitol Hill. Right now, Democrats pitted against Republicans on the debt ceiling, and infighting within the Democratic Party has progressives facing off with moderates over not just infrastructure, but the larger $3.5 trillion budget proposal. They're in danger, folks. Overnight, the House voted to avoid a government shutdown and increase the debt ceiling, but that's just the House. It faces major hurdles in the Senate with ramifications stretching far and wide, not just on Capitol Hill, but for the U.S. economy.
Absolutely. All of this as the Democratic Party's divide is on full display. So right now, liberal and moderate Democrats In a fierce standoff, President Biden's $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure plan is in limbo. Hours from now, we know Biden is set to meet with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. He's also scheduled to sit down with other key Democrats as this deadline draws closer.
I love the debt ceiling conversation that like comes about every fucking cycle, dude. It's so stupid. Like, yeah, dude, just shut it down. Fuck it. It's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb. It's like there's never like, no one has ever been able to weaponize it appropriately, I feel like.
This is called the legislative process. This is called...
The funniest part is that like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi totally caved last time this happened on the mere promise that Mitch McConnell was going to offer, DACA dreamers some kind of like legal opportunity for amnesty or like protection, which never came, by the way. Like it literally never came. And Chuck Schumer ended it on a promise from Mitch McConnell.
The Democratic Party really is in the mix of all of it, and that's what's pretty exciting because everybody has their say. We come together and we'll get it done.
CNN politics reporter and editor-at-large Chris Cillizza.
Oh my God, Chris, I love the suck toast Cillizza. Fuck yes, dude. That's extremely my shit. I love this. I wonder what kind of incredible insight he is going to offer us today.
Joining us now. So, Chris, I know you just wrote, if this fails, right, if the president fails this week, his entire domestic agenda is essentially done for at least 15 months.
Yeah, Erica, there's the stakes. It's hard to overstate the stakes here. So between the $1 trillion infrastructure, hard infrastructure, as they call it, bill that's passed the Senate but not yet passed that.
Yo, this Haas Tasty better BTTV emote is like exactly what it describes Chris Cillizza when he like Chris D'Elia whenever he sees toes. I'm not even kidding. Does anyone have the fucking tweet? I'm sure you guys can pull up one of his many tweets.
And then the $3.5 trillion budget bill. You essentially have everything that Joe Biden is trying to do, certainly on the domestic front, from immigration to climate to education to coronavirus and dealing with it, all wrapped up in these two bills. I mean, it's not that surprising. It's almost $1 trillion, in government spending. But if it doesn't go, if this agreement between Democrats doesn't come together, there's a real issue here because there's no plan B. There's no other bill that they can go to. They could maybe try to break it into parts, but this is the bill.
That's a real tweet that's still up. Tell me that's not literally him doing that while he's posting. There's more. I am paying no 50 cents for no Coke. Then you ain't getting no Coke. What's that sign say? No bare feet. This meme gets me. What? Why are you sending this? What? That one sucks. Show me the feet stuff. Show me this this little foot piggy's most deranged tweets about feet. I mean, he knows suckable toes when he sees them. Okay. I respect it, dude. I mean, in a weird way. In a weird way, I do too. Is this an MF Doom tire cover? If so, awesome. No, not that. There's more. He's taken so many fucking foot pics. It's just foot fighting. No, you're just keyword searching the feet thing. Okay, you don't have any. It's fine. You shouldn't wear flip-flops unless you were at the beach or directly on the way there, period. Okay, well, that... Thoughts about BLM threatening an uprising against vaccine mandates? What? Okay. I'm glad that you are actually subscribed. You need to send me that deranged psychopathic right-wing website you got that from. I love this. Please. Wonder what he'd make of this one. This is a catfish. Did I have insane luck or is Tinder trying me? Shit, who did I just send $100 to then? Wait, what is the... Oh no, that went through. I think this made its way onto fucking... what do you call it? Wait, does this guy think that I'm like a fucking... Oh, this is a foot fetishist, isn't it? Haas Tasty. Pepega. Wonder what he'd make of this one. Kids in my sister's school just hit a devious lick and ripped the bathroom sink off the wall. That's not devious. It's 105 with a heat index in DC right now. Me? Okay, I don't want to see his feet, dude. He has a couple tweets like this, but we can't find it. Anyway, devious feats. Black Lives Matter holds canceled Carmine's protest in New York City. What? There is 0% chance this is real. This is a fucking op, dude. BLM activist confronts Carmine's restaurant continuing to accuse... Wait, what?
Grifter.
BLM activists confront the Carmine's restaurant, continuing to accuse them of being racist after an altercation over vax papers took a few days ago. There is no shot that this is real, okay? There is no fucking shot that this is like an actual legitimate thing.
This white man said he was a white American. So that's your privilege above a black woman? That's your privilege? That's your privilege?
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, this is some real spicy fucking op shit. Yeah, dude. But yeah, no, totally, dude. Well, they're black and they're wearing a BLM t-shirt, so, you know. Yeah, that must mean that they're like officially organized, dude. Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. This shit is so whack. It's not. BLM chapter in New York City have been catching L's. Look it up. So what happened? I'm not familiar with this story, but isn't it like isn't like a group of tourists like beat the shit out of a hostess? Carmine's on the UWS as a hostess was assaulted after asking a group for proof of COVID vaccine to eat inside. Is a shocking and tragic situation when one of our valued employees is assaulted for doing their job as robbed our city policies. Yeah, I remember this. I didn't really talk about it, but anti-vax left-wingers do exist. I know, and they're fucking stupid. Sorry. I miss when we had to stay inside. No, I do not. 3 women from Texas entered the restaurant. 3 guys show up to go to their table, but didn't have vaccine cards to get in, and the group left and got into a fight. They're saying the staff was saying slurs to them before the fight. A group of non-vax weren't allowed in, and the black woman in the group beat the hostess. The waitress was using the N-word, apparently. I am black and have done some organizing, and I'm heavily embedded in the community, and there definitely is a minority of virulent anti-vaccine sentiment, and I wouldn't pass them, to be honest. Do they not make a valid point, though? Couldn't vaccine mandates inadvertently affect black people? Of course they can, dude. Of course. 1, you can literally do selective enforcement, okay? Many restaurants do this all the time when they say no athletic t-shirts or hats, and then only selectively enforce it on black people, okay? And it's something that happens regularly. But this is a public health measure, a public safety measure for a free vaccine. If you're a fucking Texas tourist that was able to fly to New York, then you had free time to get the vaccine. I'm sorry, you can suck my entire cock if you're going to be like, hey, what about this? Well, these people just like, they didn't have time. Like, shut the fuck up, okay? There are genuinely people that are afraid of getting the vaccine because they're worried that like they can't take time off work. But if you are literally traveling from fucking Texas to New York and don't have the vaccine in your fucking body, you are 1000% without a doubt a fucking anti-vaxxer. That's it. And you're just stirring shit up. I wouldn't put it past a Carmine's employee to use the N-word. They aren't the best Italians. The shade room on Instagram is full of anti-vax and vaccine posts. It takes 10 minutes at a Walgreens. What time are you talking about? Guys, there are people who are legitimately concerned with the fucking 2-day knockout that people have. Okay? Like, people are legitimately worried that they can't take time off for 2 days. That's why there's literally an OSHA rule that designates that you can take up to 2 days of time off. Up to 2 days time off once you get the second shot. Stop saying go on a Friday. Shut the fuck up. Not everyone works just on Monday to Friday. You guys are so silly. There are always going to be people that legitimately are worried about getting the fucking vaccine because they can't take time off. Okay? Also, yes, the vaccine is free, but it's not free to get to the vaccine places. A lot of you say, oh, dude, what the fuck? Just go to a Walgreens. There are plenty of fucking people, especially poor black and brown people, that do not live in a fucking mile radius of a pharmacy that can effectively deliver them the vaccine. Okay? So all of a sudden, that became a much larger issue. Now you have to fucking get public transportation. Is there adequate public transportation? Will you be able to go and fucking get it? Uber and Lyft are offering free, Uber and Lyft were offering free drives. I don't even know if they are currently still offering the free rides to get vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, it's your choice. Let's be real, poor Latino. No, I'm just saying that there is a non-zero number of people that are still having a hard time getting vaccinated or are still worried that, like, if they get vaccinated, their ass is going to be knocked out for 2 days and they can't take time off. Okay? Having said that, though, there are plenty of people who are using that as a fucking argument, but then they go and they fucking protest. Like, come on, dude. You know, if you live in New York City, you know, if you live within the boundaries of New York City, you can get a vaccine. Like, that's fucking bullshit. What I'm talking about is like rural areas, especially. There are still barriers that most people cannot comprehend with respect to doing free things that the government is offering you. There's no Uber and Lyft in my small Alabama town. See, I know, dude. Listen, there's hella fucking privileged ass chatters who don't think about it beyond their own like immediate experiences, and that's understandable. People are just blinded by their own privileges. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't get the vaccine. You should still get the vaccine.
Vaccine mandates. Listen. Vaccine is a choice. Okay? This is a choice. You shouldn't exclude people from everyday activities because they choose not to engage in something.
Yeah, fuck this guy. Like, look, there are some people that make the argument that like vaccine mandates are disproportionately going to target the poor people because they still have like fears or reasonable hurdles that they cannot overcome in an effort to get the vaccine. That percentage of people is not zero, and that's important to address. It should be easier to fucking vaccinate every single person. But like, guys like this are just ops, okay? Fuck this dude. I'm sorry. Suck my dick, dude. It's a choice. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
They had every reason to doubt. The government story on the vaccines have changed every 1 to 2 months since Donald Trump. The vaccines have had effects that people come out and say, oh, well, you know, that never happens. But they do happen. People die. Joe Biden said that folks wouldn't be hospitalized. People are being hospitalized and dying.
What does the shirt say? Black Lives Matter.
Black people have every reason not to trust the vaccine.
Shut up, dude. Shut up. I hate this argument. Like, there's a lot of medical racism. There's a lot of medical racism that, like, that is at the heart of why a lot of black people distrust medicine. And that's one thing. You know, people point to the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. But, like, at a certain point, you are literally fucking, especially if you're a black community leader, especially if you're, like, you know, representing Black Lives Matter or whatever, you are purposely fucking misinforming other black people in your fucking vicinity. You're a piece of shit. I do not believe that this dude is, like, in any way, shape, or form a genuine person. Straight up a fucking op, okay? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well, yet again, I'm not telling you not to get it.
This video gives more context about what happened. It looks like the hostess may have said something. Yeah, it doesn't even... Wait, the hostess is black? The hostess they beat up?
Cancel Carmine's, the chant from Black Lives Matters protesters in front of the popular Upper West Side Italian bar and restaurant. The protest over this, a brawl caught on a cell phone camera last week between a hostess and 3 women visiting from Texas. The tourists were arrested and charged with misdemeanor assault and criminal mischief. It started with a mandatory vaccine status check, and it resulted in this. Hawk Newsom, a Black Lives Matter
This is so dumb, dude. This is such a dumb fucking story. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Activist who says he spoke with the women from Texas claimed the hostess was disrespectful.
That guy's a fucking grifter scumbag. That fucking dude with the megaphone who's like, oh, Black Lives Matter New York. Like, grifter fucking scumbag, dude.
To the party.
Yeah, I hate this rhetoric because there are side effects. Women had fucked up menstrual cycles because of the vaccine, but even knowing that, it's still worth getting vaccinated. Immediately protect yourself. Women had fucked up menstrual cycles because of the vaccine. Bro, women have fucked up menstrual cycles from dietary changes. Like, the fuck do you mean? How are you a woman and not, like, how are you a fucking woman and What a take, dude. Like, what an incredible take. Anyway, it doesn't even matter because that person is still advocating. That person is still advocating to get the vaccine regardless. Sorry. I have heard that, though, before. Though. How are you a woman? Wait, what? I don't have to be a woman to know this. Oh, you're making fun of me saying, how are you a woman and saying this? Yeah, like, women's menstrual cycles change because of stress, dude. Like, what the fuck? You guys are making fun of me for saying that. Anyway, I live every day despising the hormones that screw up my body every day. Damn, Twitch is really crushing it with their new initiative to insert scientists into every channel's chat. Yeah, it's crazy.
Used a racial slur and, quote, lunged at them.
After she dropped the...
Lunged at them. Disrespectful to the party, used a racial slur and, quote, lunged at them.
After she dropped the inbox.
There's two specific problems here, okay? And I'm sorry, but this dude is definitely a fucking clown and a grifter, okay? So, the two separate problems here is like, is someone using the vaccine mandate in an effort to fucking stop black people from entering the property, okay? Are they actually doing that? Did she actually say the N-word? These, very likely, this could have happened. This absolutely could have happened. Okay? I'm not saying that that it's not likely. But now, this dude is using that to fucking shit on vaccines. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
The three women did a double take and followed her out the restaurant, and that's the melee you saw.
The protesters called on Carmines to release the security video.
Release the tape! Release the tape! I charge Carmines with trying to cover up.
Maybe do some research for saying nonsense, you dumb fuck. Hundreds of thousands of women have reported issues with their menstrual cycles after taking the vaccine. Hey, man, I know. You understand that, like, vaccines, of course, impact women's menstrual cycles. Everything impacts women's menstrual cycles. I recognize that. And I'm saying it's understandable that that occurred. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you too stupid to... Are you... I said that already. I said, yes, of course that happened. Because that is slated to always happen. I have a hard time believing they said the N-word, but it happens. This guy's definitely a grifter. Yeah, I mean, I am much more convinced that this guy is lying, or at least using this as an opportunity to fucking, you know, push for his own personal agenda than believing that a host has said the N-word, like, unprompted like that, just dropped it. It can be. Like, it happens. There are plenty of fucking racist people. I recognize that guy. He's in a Vice video about arming black people. God. Oh. One of these dudes, bro. Come on.
Their employees' actions by using the vaccination passport as an excuse. Right on.
The restaurant's owner, Jeffrey Bank, who denied that the hostess used a slur, did just that. What both sides agree on, the three women were part of a larger party who arrived to the restaurant in two groups. Three men who showed up later were not seated inside because of the proof of vaccine rule. In the video, a manager walks members of the party who did show proof of vaccination inside.
Okay, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? They let in like half the group, which also had black people in it, because they had vaccines and they were like, oh, you don't have a vaccine? We can't let you in. Get the fuck out of here. Suck my fucking cock, dude. How is this a story? Oh my fucking God. Dude. Oh, fuck these people, dude. How fucking disgusting that they're just like, we're gonna traffic in the name of Black Lives Matter to do this anti-vaxxer bullshit. Oh my fucking God.
24-year-old hostess walks past them, exiting the restaurant. Four follow her outside. That's when the fight starts.
You know, I was just speaking with the workers here at Carmine's. It's a very diverse group. They're trying to make a living doing their job, and now all of a sudden they're in the middle of this extraordinarily challenging situation. They just want to make a living, do their job. That's it. It's completely inappropriate. You cannot assault a restaurant worker for doing their job.
Carmine's owner released a statement saying the attacks were, quote, entirely unprovoked. Bank in the statement said, this video footage makes clear that the women's Texan criminal defense attorney is heaving falsehoods to try to get his clients off the hook for their...
Bro, come on, dude. come on, dude. Like, also, one of the hosts is black, the other one's Latina, and one is Asian. And she just dropped the N-word like that after letting in a bunch of black people in the group because they had their vaccine papers.
Follow her outside. That's when the fight starts.
You know, I was just speaking with the workers here at Carmine's. It's a very diverse group. They're trying to make a living.
Oh my God, get the fuck out of here, dude. Yo, this shit sucks. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You're not anti-vax, are you? What? No, of course not. This is some absolute deranged bullshit, dude. I'm sorry. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. God damn it. This is so whack. This is so fucking whack, dude. Yeah, the problem now is that people won't distinguish between true BLM activists and these people who are co-opting the movement to complain about vaccines. Yeah, this is so fucking annoying. Oh, what a bunch of fucking hogs, dude. Like, straight hog shit. It doesn't matter. You're from fucking Texas. All of a sudden, dude, you got the hog syndrome, dude. It goes beyond, like, you know, racial inequalities and everything else. You got that fucking Texas hog rot, dude. Jesus Christ. Now, anti-vax Facebook moms will share them as examples. Yeah.
Living, doing their job, and now all of a sudden they're in the middle of this extraordinarily challenging situation. They just want to make a living, do their job. That's it. It's completely inappropriate. You cannot assault a restaurant worker.
Oh, that's the guy, right? This is the guy.
Carmine's owner released a...
This is the fucking guy, right? The servant of God and humanity in the Bronx, the realest voice in activism, cast at BET for Cop Watch America, co-founder of BLM Greater New York. Let's see how fucking anti-vax this dude is. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit. Wait, this guy's an advocate for intelligence-led policing? Or no, he's saying the war of attrition, intelligence-led policing is waging against Black Lives Matter. He could just be like genuine anti-vaxxer, to be honest. Wait, what is this? What?
And people going back to pubs and stuff, because our exposure sites still... Will they be put back in place to be listed once we are reopening? Because they're not at the moment.
We will be looking at what contact tracing looks like in the New World Order. And yes, it will be pubs and clubs and other things. If we...
I can't. No. No way. No way. Nope.
The attacks were, quote, entirely unprovoked. Bank in the statement said, this video footage makes clear that the women's Texan criminal defense attorney is heaving falsehoods to try to get his clients off the hook for their attack. It also makes clear Carmine staff acted appropriately and professionally. According to the police, the
lawyer here, the host was clearly standing in an aggressive manner and being of Asian descent, should have been preparing for it. Oh, okay, dude. Come on, don't make racist jokes.
Women were given desk appearance tickets and are due in court on October 5th. On the Upper West Side, Dan Rivoli, New York 1.
Yeah, dude, this is bullshit. Oh, fuck me, dude. Oh, it's so nasty that they're like that this guy is just like using fucking Black Lives Matter. Oh, that's so fucking nasty. Oh, Jesus Christ. Scumbag, dude. Fucking scumbag. But I can't wait. I can't wait for like you know, the barbs to fucking get up my asshole for this shit too. Ugh, it's so disgusting. Like, I can't wait for motherfuckers to be like, black people should be able to weaponize legitimate social justice causes for their own purposeful misinformation campaigns that will allow them to get clout, sweaty. That's not up to you, a Mayo monkey, to decide what black people can and can't do. Some of you literally sound like this when you fucking criticize me when I like shit on Candace Owens or some shit. Okay? Like, stay out of black people's business. What do you say to people who are grifted like this? If you know him personally, I mean, this guy is a grifter, so it's a little different. I unload on the grifters. You're fat and have body odor. Grandpa Barb, more like it.
Hard mandate to create more central plans.
Has it ever occurred to you that black conservatives are people too? No, I mean, I have the same energy against all conservatives. Doesn't matter if they're fucking black or white. You know this. What is this? Stay out of black people's business. You can't tell them not to grift or not be a white nationalist sweaty. Yeah, literally.
And more Breonna Taylor. It ends here. Consider yourself.
That's disgusting.
Vaccination card mandate to create more.
That's fucking disgusting, dude. Invoking Breonna Taylor's name to be a fucking anti-vaxxer? Like, are you kidding me, dude? That's so fucking gross. Holy shit. These fucking grifters, man. Why? Like, how?
More Sandra Bland and more Breonna Taylor. It ends here. Consider yourself served.
Right.
Cancel Carmine. Cancel Carmine. This.
BLM Central is disown this Hank guy and his group. They put out a statement. White genocide psychopaths and BLM grifters are the same shit. They contribute nothing positive at all. Like, I don't understand how you're gonna fucking run. Like, I don't understand how you can't recognize that you're like literally devaluing your own fucking movement. Like, this is gonna be weaponized by white nationalists, brother. That's not like, they're not your fucking friends. I promise you. You're just a unwilling or willing participant in their grift. Black Lives Matter put a statement out. Today, Donald Trump attributed a quote to a Black Lives Matter leader on his social media. We have traced these comments to Hank Hawk Newsom. Hawk Newsom is no relation to the Black Lives Matter Global Network, founded by Patrice Kilores, Alicia Garza, and Opal Tometi, and is not the president of BLM or any of his chapters. Only BLM chapters who adhere to BLM's principles. It's back in 2020. Oh shit, they were fucking. You say voter ID is racist, but they can't say vaccine ID is. Yes, you fucking idiot. Because when you don't have a fucking license to be able to vote, which you have to still pay for to get the license, okay, you're effectively instituting a poll tax. But the vaccine, unlike the license, is fucking free. And also is a public health measure. I don't understand how you can't comprehend this. Like, when someone doesn't have a fucking ID, that's not a contagious disease, okay? Also not preventing you from voting, just eating food and going to concerts. Yeah, that's the other reality. Yeah. I wish IDs were free to get. Like, and easy to get too. Wait, that's the... Oh, dude, I remember this guy. Black Lives Matter activist speaks on stage at the pro-Trump rally, dude. He got an invitation to speak on stage at the pro-Trump rally. Yo, this is some real fucking op grifter bullshit. I was so right. Dude, I have such a good nose for this. I swear to fucking God. I swear to God.
I don't think my Bible is any different from yours when it says love thy neighbor. It didn't say that neighbor had to be from the continental United States. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We love one another. The reason why we fight is to draw attention to issues and to fix it. We are not anti-cop. We are anti-bad cop.
Suspiciously similar to... Wait, what is this guy doing, dude? Bro, come on, dude. Come on, dude. He's like standing next to some fucking... He's got a skinhead for a fucking hype man, dude.
We said if a cop is bad, he needs to get fired like a bad plumber, like a bad lawyer, like a bad politician. Listen, if we really want to make America great, we do it together.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, this guy, it seems like he was doing a real BLM protest, dude. That's interesting, man. He was on Fox News too? Of course he was.
Lives Matter for Greater New York. Good to have you with us tonight, sir.
His soul is not for sale. I wonder what he's going to say. He's going to be like, Democrats try to steal. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I have to vote for the Democratic Party.
Thank you for having me.
So, obviously, people watch what you say in that video, that you want to now shove legislation down people's throats now that you have everyone's attention. And you also have said that violence is sometimes necessary in these situations. What exactly is it that you hope to achieve through violence?
Wow, it's interesting that you would pose that question like that, because this country is built upon violence. What was the American Revolution? What's our diplomacy across the globe? We go in and we...
The FBI would never arrest this man because he is the FBI, motherfucker. Why would the FBI arrest one of their own, dude? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Straight up all the way.
Blow up countries, and we replace their leaders with leaders who we like. So for any American to accuse us of being violent, it's extremely hypocritical. Now, when we talk about violence, we talk about using self-defense.
You said, I understand that.
We use, why are you screaming and not allowing me to talk,
well,
ma'am? You asked me a question, allow me to answer.
Go ahead.
I'm in the process of answering,
Go ahead,
and I
I'm
won't
listening.
be that much longer.
I'm listening.
Okay? You asked what we hope to achieve. We're talking about self-defense. We're talking about 4 or 5 police officers choking someone to death and someone from the community having the training to intervene effectively. We're talking about saving lives. Nobody's talking about ambushing police officers. We're talking about protecting.
Yeah, that's how he got his bona fides, dude. He yelled at fucking Fox News. He's legit. And then he goes on fucking the Trump. He goes on fucking, a Trump rally. He's invited to a Trump rally, and he's like, yeah, BLM, pro-Trump, though. So fucking stupid.
Lives. And there's nothing more American than that. And when we talk about uplifting and upholding the Second Amendment, I think that you should be applauding me, seeing as though you guys are huge supporters of the Second Amendment. But it seems to be the hypocrisy of America that when black people start talking about arming themselves and defending themselves, the talk is violent.
Sorry, the Trump rally was in 2017. This clip is in 2020. I'm saying that he says stuff like this to get bona fides. Okay, I'm sure he has had sentiments like this, some honest, some dishonest, before fucking the 2017 Trump rally as well. He gains legitimacy. He maintains legitimacy as a political activist in these sorts of circles. And then he uses his fucking bona fides to, advance his own personal pro-Trump grift-ass agenda.
Violence. But when white people grab assault rifles and go to our nation's, their state's capitals, it's all good.
All right. First of all, I've never talked about my stance on the Second Amendment. That's I'm not criticizing you or praising you.
You don't support the Second Amendment? You don't support the Second Amendment?
That's not my role here to talk about my opinion.
I'm asking you a question. Do you support the Second Amendment?
The Second Amendment is part of our Constitution.
Do you support the Second Amendment, yes or no? A lot of your viewers would like to know if you support the Second Amendment.
Well, that's fine. But that's not why we're here. And the only reason that I posed that first question to you the way that I did was that I watched you, talking on a bunch of different interviews today. And you said, burn it down. You said, burn it down. It's time. So that makes me think that you want to burn it down.
I said if this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system and replace it. All right, and I could be speaking figuratively. I could be speaking literally. It's a matter of interpretation. Like, let's be very.
Bro, this has real how do you do, fellow revolutionaries? Would you like to fucking take up some arms and blow up a little bit of Tenorite energy? Okay? This is this dude reads like a fucking, this dude reads like a FBI guy on Facebook. Like the way he's talking about it. I'm getting incredible amounts of cop energy from this dude. I'm sorry.
Real. And let's observe the history of the 1960s. When black people were rioting, we had the highest growth in wealth, in property ownership. Think about the last few weeks. Since we started protesting, there have been 8 cops fired across the country. You remember they were telling us that there was due process. That's why the cop that choked Eric Gardner to death kept his job and received raises for 5 years. Anytime a cop hurt a woman, hurt a child, hurt pregnant people, hurt our elders, there was always a call for due process. You must wait. You must wait. But the moment people start destroying property, now cops can be fired automatically. What is this country rewarding What behavior is it listening to? Obviously not marching, but when people get aggressive and they escalate their protests, the
You feel
country
like that's when
listens.
you're getting
Cops
results.
get fired. Now you have police officers, you have Republican politicians talking about police reform. I don't condone nor do I condemn rioting, but I'm just telling you what I observed.
You're saying that that's what appears to be working and getting results right now, and maybe that is something for everybody to think about. I just want to put up this quote from Martin Luther King, and I've heard you talk about Martin Luther King.
Oh my fucking God. Oh, blah. Fox News. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't wait.
King versus Malcolm X, and you said that he, was an anomaly, Martin Luther King. He said, no color of the skin, but context of character time, boys. Let's get ready. Let us be dissatisfied until that day when nobody will shout white power, when nobody will shout black power, but everybody will talk about God's power and human power. Do you agree with that?
I love the Lord. And my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is the most famous black radical revolutionary in history.
What?
And he was treated just like Dr. King. He was arrested on occasion, and he was also crucified or assassinated. This is what happens to black activists. We are killed by the government.
Bro, I love this guy. Okay, I take it back. This guy's awesome. I take it back. He's great. I love the Lord. Look, I'm a big fan of saying that Jesus was black. I think it's great, especially on fucking Fox News of all places. Like, talk about an audience that is not going to be receptive to that rhetoric. You know what I mean?
Man. Well, and if you need,
and then he compared himself to Jesus, which is awesome. Okay.
Context, if you read your Bible, it will say that Jesus had feet like burnt brass and hair like wool. I don't know if you noticed, but our hair seems to be more like wool, and we seem to be likened to that color than anyone else. And it's just the hypocrisy and the white supremacy in America and in the world that would show us portraits of a pasty white Jesus. Jesus was not white. We all know this.
Okay, that's true.
Okay, I mean, I think Jesus is Jesus to all Christians, and people interpret him.
Damn, she's backing up real quick, dude. She got nothing. She got nothing. He intellectually disabled her argument, dude. Just ruined it. Jesus to all. Like, say Jesus is white. Say it. You can't. It's not true.
In imagery in different ways.
He's black now.
Obviously, he was from the Middle East. We all know that. That's obvious. So,
so he wasn't a white man. We all know that, right?
I don't know how. I don't
we all know
see
Jesus
how. He was
white,
Middle
right?
Eastern. Yes, he was Middle East. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go.
What is happening? This is an interview from hell, dude. He's like, as long as you say he's not white, we're good. Oh, that's pretty funny. I take it back. This guy's great, dude. Fuck. Chad Black Jesus versus the virgin personal interpretation argument. Oh, dude, that's good. That's actually good. Fuck, dude. He's better on Fox than Greenwald. Oh no, that's also true. Fuck, you're right, dude.
Go. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I appreciate where you're coming from, and I appreciate you coming on tonight. And I
don't
know
think
you're
she
very
appreciates.
passionate and that you want what's best. So everybody has different aims and different ways to get there. But I appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
I
with us
just want
tonight.
black liberation and black sovereignty
Thank
by
you very
any means
much.
necessary.
Thank you for being here.
I don't think she appreciates it. Anyway, he's still a piece of shit, that guy. I mean, it was pretty funny to watch him dismantle the fucking Fox News people, but Texas on a roll. Texas Attorney General suing to block trans workplace restrictions like bathroom choice and pronoun preferences. Dude, what the fuck? I can't, dude. Texas is suing the Biden administration over guidance saying transgender workers can use bathroom of their choice. That's so psychotic, dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? What the fuck is wrong with you that you have to, like, that you have to go after, like, some of the most marginalized people in the workplace, dude? It is so insane. They're like, it's not enough that we fucked over, women. We got to go after trans folk too. Fuck it. Still think it was an FBI op now. Doesn't seem like something they would say. It's absolutely something an FBI op would still say. Don't be fucking foolish. But I do think that he's probably just a regular grifter. I changed my point on that, actually. I don't know if he's an FBI op or whatever the fuck, but I think he's just like a regular grifter. That's how I feel now. So we solved the mystery of the fucking Texas, not the Texas, the Black Lives Matter protest happening. I hope that was illuminating for people who were like, what do you have to say to this? It's like, well, now you know. Okay, now you know what I have to say to that. Fucking bullshit. And also, now you have a little bit more background on the person who was like using this as an opportunity to fucking advocate for anti-vax shit. And also, we now know more details on the actual event that took place and why that event took place to begin with.
Supposed to be the aggressors. They were supposed to be.
This white man said he was a white American. So that's your privilege to bump a black woman? That's your privilege? That's your privilege? This country was built for white people like you.
Supposed to be the aggressor.
This shit sucks, dude. It's fucking annoying. Yeah, anyway, it's bullshit. So I'm glad that we established that it was bullshit, and now we know it is bullshit. It's unbelievably obnoxious. It fucking is. And it's also, like, it's not legitimate. It's not honest. It's not real either. It's like fucking most of the people that are there are not even fucking protesters, but instead the media that's like trying to fucking film them. The most psychotic part of the trans rights lawsuits is they're challenging protections for gender pronouns, saying that the employer has a First Amendment right to misgender employees if they choose to. Ugh. It diminishes the movement? I don't even think it does. I think it's just like, because most of the people that fucking jump on this are going to be people that fucking despise the Black Lives Matter movement anyway. That's it. Okay, I can't. Biden responds to surge of migrants at the southern U.S. border. Let's get back to that. We're going to talk about that. Obviously, it's like one of the top fucking stories of today and this week. The Joe Biden administration has deported, using Title 42, something that they're fucking defending in court, a Trump-era CDC policy, one of the only fucking policies that the Trump administration immediately used, was what is known as Title 42, using the awesome powers that the CDC offers to deport migrants and expel them without giving them any sort of constitutional right that they currently have to seek asylum. Okay? The Trump administration uses on 430,000 immigrants, I believe. The Joe Biden administration so far has used it on 690,000. So just remember that. Whenever we talk about fucking Democrats and what they do with respect to fucking, migrants coming over the border, with respect to America's like incredibly violent policies of imperialism, they did that. 690,000 immigrants have been removed from this country without exercising their right, their lawful, legal right to seek asylum in this country. Yeah. President Trump, ex-President Trump, invoked Title 42 citing COVID-19. Health experts said that it had no medical basis, by the way, especially because their borders were open to everyone else. And, he expelled 440,000 people. Biden kicked out 690,000 people. Many are being deported to Haiti and have not been back in years and are returning amid political crisis. Many people that are being deported to Haiti have not been back to Haiti in years. They're being sent back to Haiti in the middle of a political crisis, or an earthquake destruction and gang violence that has displaced thousands of people. I linked that AJ Plus article to my parents, and my dad responded with an article praising Biden for his COVID response. It's like they're afraid to be critical of him and can't process criticism of him without first giving him props. Yeah, it fucking sucks. The UN condemned the U.S. for deporting hundreds of Haitian asylum seekers without hearings. We are disturbed. The U.S. plans 6 daily deportation flights to Haiti starting Tuesday. Only some families and unaccompanied children are allowed to wait for hearings. These people are like literally living under a fucking highway right now. Going back and forth between Mexico and the United States so they can get food in Mexico and then come back. They letting them in? What? Many Haitian migrants camped in small Texas border town are being released into the United States. 2 U.S. officials said Tuesday, undercutting the Biden administration's public statements. Haitians have been freed on a very, very large scale in recent days, according to the U.S. What the fuck? What do you mean freed? This is some weird ass fucking language, dude. Yahoo News is so weird. The releases come amid a quick effort to empty the camp under a bridge that, according to some estimates, held more than 14,000 people over the weekend in a town of 35,000 people. I was trying to figure out who wrote the article. It's like Joe Biden wrote it. Elliot Spagat. Anyway, did you cover the story of the migrants fighting CBP officers on a bus? Is a big story in my hometown. No, because it's like fucking, because it's like some fucking reactionary garbage. And I know that there's like anarchists in here who like keep posting it like, yo, dude, this is revolutionary. Like, no, motherfucker, do you not see the fucking the impact that a story like that from the Washington Examiner is going to have on a bunch of white people that are already afraid of fucking black people in general? Jesus Christ, dude. Fucking dumbass anarchists and like not recognizing how certain things are perceived by people. Just Jesus Christ. NBC News also wrote an article about the immigrants attacking officers on a plane. Fucking disgusting excuse for journalism. The Biden admin has been dragging their feet on immigration, and the Haiti stuff is fucked, but the few changes they've attempted to make to Trump policies have been blocked by courts, like an earlier deportation moratorium and ending the Remain in Mexico policy. Okay, but like they still have control over a fucking federal agency. Okay? So they could actually, technically, not enforce Title 42. And that's bullshit that they are still allowing CBP and ICE to do so. Their own Department of Homeland Security is still sending the fucking planes, dude. Like, you know what I mean? They don't have to do that. So that's insane to claim that they're, like, why are they defending Title 42 right now? Like, why are they in court right now to keep Title 42 in place? As the Biden administration moves quickly to expel migrants camped under a bridge, its plan depends on a controversial Trump-era policy they put in place in the early days of COVID-19. Why did Mayorkas say, if you come to the U.S. illegally, you will be returned? Your journey will not succeed. That expulsion plan rests on a rarely used public health law known as Title 42. Immigration authorities say a public health order from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention allows them to expel migrants crossing the border quickly without giving them a chance to apply for asylum. President Biden came into the office promising a more humane immigration system and then lied about it. And they defended it in court despite mounting pressure from immigration activists. I thought you were pro-Biden. No, man. I'm not pro a fucking team. Like, this is idiotic. This is not the Jets, okay? It's so fucking stupid to assume that I'm going to be defending Biden on every issue when I've been critical of him literally leading up to the Afghan withdrawal and have only been selectively defensive of Biden when he does right things, okay? God damn. Why do you care about the optics? What do I care about the optics? What optics? What fucking optics, you idiot? It's not the optics that I care about. What? I don't even know what this fucking idiot is saying, dude. Oh, God, look at the anarchist A all over leftist Phillips fucking header right here. What optics? I don't give a fuck about the optics, dude. This is disgusting. This is inhumane. What is this? 5 things to know about Kirsten Sinema? Okay, we'll look at that in a second. Oh, he means attacking cops? Yeah, dude. A bus full of Haitian immigrants looking like a bunch of fucking criminals is definitely going to be good. With respect to, you know, the way that, like, random Americans view them, dude. Why do you think the Washington Examiner wrote that story? Huh? You think a bunch of, like, hogs that are already terrified of black people are going to be like, oh, poggers, brother. Man, they're doing anti-police action. Wow, how radical. I fucking love that. We must do more direct action militant engagements like this, brother. I love that. I love my Haitian brothers who attack the cops. That's what you think is going to happen? You fucking idiot. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Dumb anarchist, shut the fuck up challenge. Okay? Go yell at your fucking mom for, you know, enforcing unjustifiable hierarchies upon you that you did not democratically fucking vote for, like, you know, doing your dishes. Okay? Parents are fascists. I'm a 14-year-old anarchist. The parental unit is a fascist organization that needs to be abolished. That's why I refuse to wipe my ass.
Response from our chief White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega. Cecilia, the president getting it from all sides.
George, he really is. And the fact that you've got Chuck Schumer, the leading Senate Democrat, publicly blasting the president over this, and other Democrats as well, is actually a really big deal. And this morning, you've even got the head of the NAACP demanding to meet with the president over this. The administration has really boxed into a political corner on this one. You had the president campaigning on...
And Tanky's gonna get some too. Like, that's no different than fucking Marxist-Leninists being like, my mom is a CIA op because she won't let me fucking play with my replica AK-47, okay? Like, you know, that's the fucking Marxist-Leninist version of that same shit. So shut the fuck up. Don't make fun of the anarchists like all that much. You're no different.
Humanitarian approach to the southern border. He really ran on being everything Donald Trump isn't when it comes to immigration. But the reality is this White House is using the same Trump era, pandemic era rule, using COVID as a reason to not allow, to not give these migrants the opportunity to legally claim asylum here in the United States. The administration has struggled to respond to some of these images that you're looking at right there. Initially, Mayorkas, the Department of Homeland Security secretary, described the scene there as chaotic, saying these officers were using their horses trying to control their horses. But then you've got now Mayorkas and other officials saying that these images are horrific. George, we haven't heard very much from the president directly on this one. His press secretary, Jen Psaki, says that he does not believe that these images represent the position of the administration or for the country, for that matter.
Cecilia, we did hear from the president yesterday at the UN, his first speech. Let's listen in.
Our security, our prosperity, and our very freedoms are interconnected, in my view, as never before. And so, I believe we must work together as never before.
The speech was a place to see, in his words, for relentless diplomacy.
Yeah,
yeah, invite the whole world to live here for fucking free, genius. Dude, for free? What kind of fucking amenities do we have, dumbass? Like, we have no amenities. We have no social safety net. Shut the fuck up, you absolute baboon, dude. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, invite the whole world to live here for free. Oh, fucking did it, dude. You are literally the reason why we will never get nice things. It's like fucking idiots like you who think that the American government is like offering them robust social safety nets and shit. God, I despise hogs like you so much.
Exactly, and really what he was doing here is trying to extend an olive branch after some of these really tough international setbacks that he's faced with allies. He talked about calling on the global community here to work together to fight COVID and climate change. He did defend that chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan that had so many allies outraged. George, today the president's going to hold a COVID summit here at the White House. Part of the UN still back here at the White House because of COVID, where he's calling on developed nations to give more vaccines to underdeveloped countries.
Cecilia Vega, thanks very much.
According to the governor of Texas, nearly 9,000 migrants are living in a huge camp in the border town of Del Rio, Texas tonight, and tens of thousands more could arrive in the coming days. Most of them are Haitian refugees who fled poverty, political violence, and earthquake destruction there years ago and moved to South America. Now they're heading north in hopes of starting a new life in the United States. But for most, that dream is being squelched. Some are being chased down by U.S. border agents on horseback. The White House and Secretary of Homeland Security say they're horrified by these images. And if they make it to this huge encampment, they likely won't get much farther. CNN's Rosa Flores reports from the border for us tonight.
What was it like under the bridge?
Horrible.
Horrible, she
Horrible.
says. New video from under the...
Horrible, she says. Wow, thanks. I had no idea what horrible is. Sorry. A little bit of comedic relief there in an otherwise absolutely disastrous fucking situation. But a little comedic relief from CNN there.
The Del Rio International Bridge showing the overcrowded conditions and thousands living in squalor. These images were taken by a Cuban couple who say they waited there for 4 days before being processed by U.S. immigration authorities and released at a nearby gas station. Yoandri Darius breaks down, saying it was his mother's dream for him to get to America. The American dreams of thousands of migrants still under the bridge, mostly Haitians, say officials, are expected to be cut short as U.S. immigration authorities increase the number of removal flights.
So we expect 4 flights to depart today. We are working very closely with Haiti and other countries to which the migrants are being repatriated.
This as DHS launches an investigation into this video showing Border Patrol agents on horseback using aggressive tactics against migrants.
Human beings should never be treated that way, and I'm deeply troubled about it.
Para poder lograr un sueño americano. Aliuska Romero says she crossed 14 countries and risked her own life to get here.
Republicans look at that and go, oh, 14 countries, that means it's not that bad. Why didn't she stop at the first country that she was at? It's like, I don't know, maybe the fucking 13 other countries that she crossed through were also in a dire condition, and that people were also coming from those countries as well to America.
She shows a cell phone video of the sharp cliff and the steep mountain she climbed in the thick jungles of Colombia.
When you say that there's a lot of dead people, what do you mean?
Muchos muertos porque te encuentras en el camino personas muertas, ahogadas,
asesinadas.
The
path who are dead.
Daria says he counted 17 dead.
He says that he saw dead women, dead children that were already decomposing. Says the bodies were on the side of the river y tenían que tomar esa agua. Did you have to drink that water? You had to drink
And inside this tent, they say, was a pregnant woman who was left behind. Romero says she started crying, and Daria says he left her his food. Despite the dangers, CNN has learned that up to 30,000 Haitians could be headed to the U.S. southern border.
And that's exactly why we are here, because we want anybody who's thinking about coming to Texas, whether it be from Colombia.
Dude, look at that. Look at that gut, dude. Just look at these hands. Just every part of this background is so perfect. Them's hogs right there, brother. It's high noon, brother. Them's be the hog season right now. That's right. That's right. I got thumbs on my thumb. Like, just the imposing presence of a fucking of a hog CBP guy or a sheriff is so great.
Or any other country.
I want to see him so bad. I want to see what he looks like.
That Texas is going to be responding.
As for Darius, he was allowed to stay in the U.S. for now.
He says that he lost his mother 15 days ago.
But his mom didn't live to see her son make it to America. He says she died unexpectedly in Cuba.
And Rosa Flores joins us now from Del Rio, Texas. Rosa, right now you're near the bridge where many migrants are taking shelter. What are you seeing there tonight?
You know, John, I am just yards from where there are thousands of stories just like the one that you saw. My photojournalist, Joel De La Rosa, is going to show you here because we're very close. We're just yards away. The bus that you're looking at, those are the buses that are used to transport these migrants to processing facilities. Now, we also have a drone in the air which can give you and show you the magnitude of this camp. If you look closely, you'll see that there's a lot of makeshift tents. These were made by hand by a lot of the migrants. I've talked to migrants who've been here, for a week, for several days. They say that a lot of the times they sleep on the floor. Now, beyond this bridge, the other thing that you'll be able to see is the show of force of both the federal government and the...
God damn. That's right, dude. Look at that. That's a good hog. That's a good hog, dude. That's a strong hog right there. That's the strongest belt in Texas. Take it in, dude. Take it in. Revel in it. That motherfucker is not just like regular racist. You know what I mean? He's got like 70 years of hatred in that body. All that hatred went directly to his gut. You know, he's got one of those guts that's like just straight. It's not even soft. You know what I mean? You could punch him right in the gut and your hand would break. He's got so much racism built in that body, dude. He's Hispanic. So, says the motherfucker who's never met like racist ass Latino people and Hispanic people in the South. Yeah. Like 42% of the fucking Customs and Border Patrol is Hispanic, dude. So, I mean, Ted Cruz. What's up? You gonna tell me Ted Cruz is not racist, dude? So like, that guy's killed 50 men. 50. I killed 50 men. They took my shins away. Floridian Cuban here. My cousin's husband is Border Patrol. Of course. Yeah. Viet Cong took my... No, that wasn't Vietnam. He fought in World War II. He didn't actually fight in Vietnam, right? I mean, that's like... Yeah. Yeah, he fought... Wait, I thought it was World War II. I thought Cotton Hill fought... Wait, he fought in Korea? I always thought he fought in World War II. No, are you sure? Because he would lie about... No. He would lie about fucking... He would also lie about fucking like fighting in Germany and shit. Dude, why is everybody saying Korea? Yeah, he would say the Japanese took his shins. Chad is so wrong because he literally has a Japanese child, dude. He has a Japanese son from the fucking war. You are literally wrong. You are literally wrong. Oh my God, Chad was so collectively wrong. They were all saying no, Korea. He literally has a Japanese son, dude. It is World War II. I was right. Yeah, he's like getting ready to spit in the Emperor's face. And then he sucks it up. I can't believe it, dude. Like, I can't believe so many people tried to tell me, a King of the Hill stan, that I was wrong. It's Korea. It's Korea. It's Korea. So many people did that too. Dude, I gotta really second guess this chat a lot. I can't trust you guys no more, dude. It's kind of fucked up. You literally... routinely do gaslighting campaigns in here. It's kind of fucked up. And no, this is like the correct usage of the term gaslighting. It's not just like straight lying. You're literally like, no, the truth around you has fundamentally shifted. Okay, this video sucks.
Them here, but they're gonna basically roll over and let all of this happen. That makes me sick.
I have to rebut what Greg said.
Dude, when Fox News gets mad at Joe Biden, when Joe Biden is literally in the process of like doing incredibly inhumane shit, I always wonder to myself, like, what do you want? Do you want Joe Biden to like fucking, you know, take a trip down to the border and start killing Haitian migrants personally or something? The moment Joe Biden's not whipping the Haitian migrants coming across the border is a moment where he's betraying America. Like, they're literally fucking purging more migrants using Title 42 than Donald Trump has. Like, what the fuck do you want? It makes me so mad. Can you please tell people to stop saying the slur against Japanese? I think a lot of people don't know. What is the slur? Okay, well now you're gonna... I don't even know what the slur is. Is it... What are they saying? The slur is Jap? Oh. What a weird fucking slur. Americans were not... They didn't have enough time to be creative on that one. White people usually have like... You know, white people have a way of like... making things... like, white people have a way when it comes to racism where there's just like... It's like a superpower that they have. And it feels like... It actually feels like they kind of just like threw that out there. And it was just like, whatever, we can't find another thing. You know what I mean? So they were just like, let's cut it in half. What the fuck happened? There's a worse one? Yeah, I mean, dude, yes, I have seen Gran Torino, okay? I have watched Gran Torino. I am familiar. There's like really fucked up ones out there. The slur isn't... It's Tojo? What does that mean? I don't even know what that is. But yeah, his father used to say a bunch of fucked up shit. Is this a slur reading segment? Yes. Kind of refer to the Japanese as Tojo is a slur, unlike doubted, derived from the wartime prime minister and General Hideki Tojo. He also referred to Nazis as Nazis. Yeah, I know. The Z, the one with the Z, which I will not say, is significantly worse. Because it derived from what, like driving over people's heads with a tank, and then what it looked like was the opening looked like a zipper opened up. That's really fucked up. See, that's some real fucking racist shit right there. That's Korean, but yeah. That is like, see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's where white people were like, we're gonna get creative. We're gonna bring back our like English major type creative juices flowing with respect to just like horrifically racist shit. You fucking anti-communist? What? Cotton Hill is surprisingly educated on Asian cultures, only racist against the Japanese, if I recall correctly.
About Haitian immigrants and crime. There's absolutely no evidence. I defy you to find an incident. An incident you related directly these undocumented immigrants.
God. You misread it. You are so wrong, Geraldo.
You misread it.
I'm going to. What does
crime have to do with these people? You know what their crime is?
Jesus
Their
Christ.
crime is that they
You are
have
totally misreading this. I was talking about how the media covers the story. No, because you're screwing up. It's embarrassing, Geraldo. You're embarrassing me.
Geraldo.
You're embarrassing me. No, Greg, you do that to yourself on a regular basis, you fucking clown. You're embarrassing me. Oh god, I hate him so much. He makes Geraldo look good, dude. That's how bad he is. They all make him look good because they're fucking so dog shit.
Be embarrassed.
No, because you're wrong.
You know, you're embarrassed.
You're wrong.
The Haitians have been
No. Let me respond to your lie.
Bro, when you're at a fucking table and Geraldo Rivera is the voice of reason, it's just like, it's over. You know what I mean? That is absolutely the worst fucking situation to be in, where that motherfucker is the smart one, okay?
To your face. I was talking about how the media ignored a story about the crime issue. It wasn't about Haiti.
No.
Jesus,
You know, why'd you link them in the
apologize.
same sentence?
Because they avoided that story.
You wanted to make this stereotypical linkage.
That is so wrong.
And Haitians have been screwed in immigration.
So wrong.
Haiti is 200 miles from Cuba.
My God.
A Haitian gets to our shore,
Geraldo.
they get deported.
A
Cuban gets to our shore, they get asylum.
All right. The point went over your head, Geraldo.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. It is pretty interesting that like Cuban migrants do have special privileges and had historically special privileges that were never afforded to Haitian migrants. But of course, there are multiple reasons for that. Obviously, skin color being a huge one, and the Cuban migrants were dissidents that were running away from a socialist regime. Demonizing the socialist regime is the key there. Please don't ever say those slurs again. You've been on a bit of a disappointing track lately. Why would you say it after they literally said it was a slur? Oh, dude, just don't watch, man. Seriously, dude. Fucking, if you were born in 1999, this is probably not for you, okay? I swear to God, if you're born in 1999, this broadcast is like, it's just not gonna happen. Wait, oh, this.
Chill, you guys can go to 6th Street, whatever you gotta do. Yeah, I can't wait to say all the slurs, dude. Chill.
That's your audience, dude? Yeah, I know it's my audience. It's just like really fucking, it's really fucking annoying. It's so annoying, dude. Like, yeah, I did say that. I was talking about, I was, and I'm going to repeat it now. I said wetback when talking about Operation Wetback, a fucking, that made it to the front of the New York Times when I was referencing the Bracero program and how fucking racist our history is with immigration. Yeah. And it's like such a weird, it's like such a weird thing to just be like, dude, am I saying it? You won't say the N-word though? Yeah, no shit. Of course. You won't either. Fuck you, I'm born in 1999. I love throwing you up at work. We're literally talking about the fucking historical context of certain slurs. And yes, like if you are using the N-word as a fucking example, then you know I was just gonna say, I think it's a white person take to think all slurs are socially equivalent to the N-word, especially given you're explaining why it's wrong. Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid. That doesn't mean you should use these words. And I'm literally saying you should not be using these words. I didn't even know. This is the same exact fucking conversation that we had when we talked about the P word. Okay? A word that is considered hate speech that most Americans probably didn't even fucking know was hate speech. It's the shortened version of Pakistani. Okay? Gusanos too? No, fucking Gusano's not a slur. Shut up. Stop trying to make like a term used for fucking political dissidents be a slur. No one knows what that is to be able to use it as a slur. Also, when someone says something like the N-word, it's not like we all don't think that word. It's okay to say it if you're demonstrating why it's a bad word, exactly what you're doing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like here's the reality, okay? Here's the reality. There's a reason why when I say the F word, now most people understand I'm not talking about fuck, okay? Because now the collective understanding requires that I don't need to fucking say it out loud, and everybody knows it's socially unacceptable to say it out loud. But when we're talking about a fucking specific slur that I don't even know what the fuck it is, okay? And I read it out loud, like if you need to describe what the word is, and we are literally having a conversation about like the reference of what that word is, implying that we don't know what the fucking word is, then yeah, when you're describing that it's a bad thing to say and it's a hateful slur, it is a little bit more acceptable than fucking saying it. That's precisely why no one has to say the full N-word, because everybody knows what that is. Not a single person is like, oh, I wonder if that means like nuclear. No. Okay?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, just admit it.
What?
Ahead.
Even with your haircut.
The manhunt for Brian Laundrie ramping up after Gabby Petito's death is ruled a homicide. That breaking information
Go to the
up next.
videotape. Go to the videotape.
Oh my God, they like should have fought.
Enabling media wouldn't do their job. This never would have happened if they actually had been kept up with our coverage at Fox of all this harrowing footage, nonstop footage. They had to wait for that one image, one singular image, as Chris Cuomo points out, so that they can manufacture a story out of one image. It's the consequences, though, of their own corruption.
Push won't allow it if you keep doing it. Stop saying bad words. We don't want you banned. Fuck. It's not even fucking, you're wrong. Okay? You're literally wrong. Twitch will not ban you if it's literally talking about the historical context or if it's contextually appropriate. Shut up. You're not right.
So what does that remind you of? It reminds you of the media and the...
I bet you just can't wait to say all the slurs. You do this all the freaking time, man. I'm sick of it. Grow the hell up, man. Like it's for real. It's not for you to say. You do it once every single hour, and I'll bet you'll do it again now at the top of the fucking hour. Oh no. Oh, I'm sick of it, dude. That's right. That's fucking right, dude. Secretly. You said it in context. I'm angry at you, so I'll say it in context. What? This channel does great videos on pro wrestling. Okay, I don't want to watch it right now. Oh. Please educate yourself on the term Tojo. It refers to a clan that was always a traitor, stealing money and always relying on the fourth chairman. Please think before you speak. Also, Daigo Dojima needs your help. I don't know what the fuck that is, dude. Is it a Yakuza reference? Oh my god. Fuck you, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Shut up. Bro, you just said multiple slurs simultaneously. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even fucking know. The thing is not even catching it. Anyway, yeah. Subscribe if you want to hear me say all the bad words, okay? I'm going to say all of them in rapid fire at the ad break. That's right. Yeah, I'm going to say all the slurs. Just curious, you get offended over a word? Like me personally? No, but I totally understand why hate speech is unacceptable because it's inherently dehumanizing to marginalized people and historically been used. Chatters that use just curious are so fucking bad. Like they're just unacceptable. It's just, it always, like anytime someone puts just curious in the fucking chat, it is literally the same energy as do your own research at this point. Just curious Andes are like never curious. Okay, curiosity killed the cat, motherfucker. Think about that when you're curious next time. Anyway, exactly 20 years ago, 5 letters containing anthrax spores were mailed to various media outlets. National Geographic released a new documentary about it. Yeah. We covered it in my 9/11 aftermath thing.
The Democrats ignoring the rampant violent crime that started last summer all the way to the present time. All of our cities are degraded into danger.
Suspiciously, all the evidence was burned. All the evidence that that could lead back to like the anthrax, that could like perhaps help investigate like what anthrax strain it specifically was. All of it was burned by the FBI. So strange that happened. A strange thing that happened.
at Fox of all this harrowing footage, nonstop footage. They had to wait for that one image, one singular image, as Chris Cuomo points out, so that they can manufacture a story out of one image. It's the consequences, though, of their own corruption. So what does that remind you of? It reminds you of the media and the Democrats ignoring the rampant violent crime that started last summer all the way to the present time. All of our cities are degraded into dangerous, terrible. Stop it, Aral. Let me finish. I let you talk for God knows how long.
Wait, what? He's saying that immigrants are, like, Haitian migrants are responsible for crime increasing in our cities? Is that what he said? And has degraded our cities? What a fucking asshole, dude.
So instead, they just totally ignore the fact that we have rampant crime wave. Crime is going up, homicides are up. But if there's this one singular image, one issue, a police issue encounter that they can use, because in that way they can, again, blame law enforcement and then pretend that they actually care about something. By the way, the whip story, finally, I love it as it falls apart. The media changes the verbiage. So it went from whipping to wielding to whirling to...
No, he's saying that there's immigrants, and he's saying that there's a rampant crime wave at the same time, completely unrelated, his defense. That's a great... It's a great way to make that argument. It's also not true, but hey, he's saying the Democrats are ignoring the crime just like they're ignoring the border crisis. Yeah. The only crisis at the border is the one that has been ongoing and it's never stopped. And it's an endless sequence of, like, people justifying the brutality against immigrants. What is this? Here's the original tweet. Straight to jail. Don't stop. Collect 200. Puberty is nature's signal of biological eligibility for marriage, so why should government interfere in people's lives by prescribing marriageable age after puberty? Is government more concerned for children's welfare than parents? What the fuck? Former director of the FBI, an unyoked, or CBI. Why did I read that as FBI? What the fuck's wrong with me? Dyslexia. Yes, fucking libertarians, man. CNN has the manufacturer story around a guy on a horseback whipping asylum seekers, says the guy on the network that still talks about a fucking tan suit. I mean, dude, it's just like, it's ridiculous. Like, it sucks that the only time there's, like, broad coverage over issues is when, like, we have to resort to, like, you know, the saying the N-word equivalent of mistreating a black migrant. You know what I mean? Like, Americans can only comprehend racism when, like, a white person says the N-word and nothing before and nothing around it, nothing leading up to it. Only then, okay? That's the only time someone is racist, if they say the N-word. And also, at the same time, like, they are only able to fucking see the dehumanization and horrific violence that immigrants are subjected to if it's a fucking black migrant being whipped by a dude in fucking cowboy chaps, dude. Like, to invoke the imagery of slave patrols, like, it's insane to me. It blows my fucking mind that that's the only way that people can comprehend it. It's like, oh, well, now it's racist. Never mind. It's like, no, dude, it was racist leading up to that, too. I promise. Like, it doesn't have to be that someone is, like, literally whipping them for you to be like, okay, well, wow, now I recognize it. It's like, no, it was always racist. Doesn't matter if it was a Democratic administration doing it or a Republican one. It's crazy. Yeah, the immigrants being kettled by ICE agents under a bridge on the Mexican-American border are responsible for the rising crime in the U.S. is an incredible take. Yes. It's always like a hyper focus on the aesthetics. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like always like, what does the outward look like? What, this is a bad look. That's a bad look. People so often, for some reason, like, hyper focus on, what the fuck is this? Real women who destroy feminists on TikTok, part 6? Sorry, I just got a fucking ADHD brain fart moment here.
Sexually harassed? Men in a new survey say yes.
Do you like giving out false information and talking like Dora the Explorer? Yes. That survey that you are talking about came out in 2017. Did you know 2017 is not 2021? No, you probably didn't.
What? Bro, this thing was a fucking fetus in 2017. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I can't even...
That survey wasn't even in the United States. Fart for brains. It was taken in the Middle East, and it was taken by like 4,000 men saying that they think women like being sexually assaulted. Now, I don't know how you...
I don't even know what this fucking thing is. Oh God, I hate this. Okay, should we watch this? It's just straight unadulterated brain cancer. You're not same, feminism destroyed. He's like, nah, actually, that survey should be used for racist reasons. She's like 14-year-old girl, blue hair, like, nah, you don't understand, far for brains. Like, you're supposed to be racist about the survey. Like, the fuck's wrong with you? Bro, you stopped just to get cancer from TikTok? Yes, dude. Yes. She said far for brains like she's Bart Simpson, dude. Here's some fun content. Today's America. Wait. Oh my God, they did it. Oh, they have it. Oh, fuck me. Oh, fuck. It came out. Oh, fuck yes, dude. I was waiting. Psych! Trump 2020. Dude, so for those of you who are uninitiated, this is Today's America. It's a new fucking conservative operation. They took like every fucking Republican Zoomer on TikTok and they brought them together for this dog shit media operation that's going to fall apart. And it's going to be exactly like every other fucking conservative, like young conservative media operation I've ever watched that I no longer watch because I will be the only fan. We will literally be the only fan of this entire thing. And we will watch it genuinely. So let's go. This is from 8 months ago. Young conservative media.
Morning. This past weekend, 24 of Today's America's influencers packed into one Airbnb and got ready to march through Washington, D.C. Though they only formed in April, their followings are growing rapidly, and the goal is to have the kind of influence through TikTok that Students for Trump or Turning Point USA have had for years on Twitter and Instagram.
What's up, everyone? So, super important event I want everyone to know about.
They've been invited to co-sponsor this weekend's event with Freedom Tour USA, a self-described grassroots patriotic movement. Liam Rafizada is one of the founders. He's only 20 years old.
We wake up at 8 a.m. and we have a ton of stuff to get done, and I probably don't go to bed until 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm on phone calls with influencers all day long, helping them. I'm always at my desk doing work.
How were you able to fund this whole weekend?
From the apparel, from what we sell. We sell all types of patriotic apparel. We sell Trump stuff. We sell Today's America branded stuff, and that's how we get the funding to do things like this.
What's up? Holy! What was that, dude? Is it a speed bump? Big ass speed bump right in front of you. These are big speed bumps.
Around 11 a.m. on Saturday, Today's America's members carpooled over to the Washington Monument to prepare for the march.
One more time. One more time. Take 3.
They wasted no time in making TikToks.
Oh yeah, that was cute. Yeah. Okay, so make a single file line.
So I did this dance, right? Everybody come on. Right. And then like I commented like where should we go next? Someone said the White House. We have to stand outside. You want to go to the White House to do it?
NBC News correspondent Antonia Hilton joins us now. Antonia, very happy to see that their TikTok and their rollerblading coordination is way better than their driving over speed bumps. But tell us more about this group, Today is America.
So Today is America is fully a company. It started in April, but it's now an LLC, chairman, president, and about 150 plus influencers who across their multiple accounts are able to reach millions and millions of young people on TikTok. And their goal is to spread conservative values, beliefs, and in these next couple days to push for the re-election of President Trump. But really, I think the long game here is that they want to become part of the...
Yeah, they did a really good job, dude. Back in the day, if you wanted to show everybody you were a fucking virgin, you would just like join the debate club. Like, you don't need to fucking telegraph it to the rest of the planet by starting this young conservative movement. You know what I mean? We get it, bro. You hate pussy. Okay, we got it. Like, it's fine. Like,
broader conservative media ecosystem. Conservatives have had a foothold on spaces like YouTube and Twitter and Instagram for a long time, but Today is America is really the first company to take a stab at building that sort of presence on TikTok in a formal way.
So they seem very organized. They've got merchandise. You say, you know, they're a company here, but do we have any sense of just how effective they have been in encouraging Gen Z voters to support Trump?
So we don't yet know about there being a massive TikTok effect on this upcoming election, but there are now numerous researchers who are studying the fast growth of political discussion on TikTok. And I actually spent time speaking with Kevin Munger, who is a professor and researcher at Penn State, who spends his time actually combing through and downloading thousands and thousands of these videos to study it. And what you—
Okay, jail that guy. That's sus. Sorry, bro. You're going to jail, dog. Oh, yeah, no, I'm just downloading all these TikTok videos for research. Professor, why are you downloading Charlie D'Amelio? Shut up!
You find when you talk to these creators one-on-one is they'll tell you, I'm not really sure. I mean, many of them are between the ages of like 15 and 20, so they're not really sure what's about to happen with this election, but they'll tell you that they are getting in active debates with other young people on the app every day, that their DMs are flooded with young people asking them questions about their stance on abortion, interested in their perspective on trade, and that they're having those conversations.
I love asking like a random 15-year-old what their stance on trade is, dude.
Day to day, and they personally believe that some of those conversations are going to lead to some of these young people coming out and voting, but they don't really know yet, and all of this remains to be studied because this growth has happened over the last couple months.
Why are news outlets giving this coverage when nobody watches it? Oh, right, billionaire astroturfing. That's right, baby. Can you imagine like NBC doing like a video on me like this? No, that'll never fucking happen. Like, I singularly every single day probably reach out to a much broader audience than this fucking media endeavor in and of itself, with 821 subscribers, by the way, 822 now. One of you simps immediately went there. Do you want them to? I mean, I kind of don't. They're a social welfare organization. Anyway, the real women thing is gonna blow. It's just gonna fucking murder me.